Folks, welcome to an all new episode of So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan, and this is a very important episode. This is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 finale. 16 fabulous episodes finished up last night. And what a way to go out, folks. Oh my goodness. Listen, we might have a lot of disagreements on how we view this episode and this season, but one thing I think we can agree on, what a fabulous season. Oh my God, 16 episodes, the perfect number of episodes to have. Now, of course, we will have a 3-part reunion and probably a 3-part docuseries on what the hell Monica did, but 16 is perfect. They didn't bloat it out with 21, 16. And another great thing, I'm just going to hop right into it, folks. What they did, which I thought they did so brilliantly, they were able to have one story go out throughout the season. It was a mystery. This was a gigantic game of Clue set in Salt Lake City. It was a whodunit, and thank God it wasn't a murder. But listen, some people's reputations definitely got murdered last night. But they managed to do this. They managed to have one overarching storyline. We didn't have any loosey apple juicies. We didn't have any complete cheating scandal stories, even though we do know Sean potentially is on the mean streets of Salt Lake City, according to Reality Von Teese. But I thought it was fabulous in that sense. It shows you that they had something really to work with. And I guess the big whodunit that continues is, when did production know? We talked about this in the realm of Scandival, is when did production know? But now we're talking about it in regards to Salt Lake City. When did they know? When did they know? They filmed this entire season, and I mean, they were even, the season was done filming by May of this past year. And they have held on to this. Another great thing is they didn't have Lisa Rinna on this cast, so they were able to keep this big reveal, even though we had heard rumblings. Like I said, I talked about it on last week's recap about the Reality Von Teese Monica thing, but they kept it under wraps. And that is why it is so important going forward to not have people in the cast that leak. Even Monica, for being one of the biggest leakers known to man in regards to creating a whole Instagram presence to take down Jen Shaw and potentially some of the other ladies, she didn't even leak things. It was still a mystery. And how fun is that? Even though it is something horrifying and something real, but how fun is that for the audience that we were able to be shocked? Also, to me, and I know this is not going to be popular, my biggest reveal of the night was still Heather Gay admitting that Jen Shaw gave her the black eye. Where the F was that, Heather Gay, last year? I see that you're being celebrated as the world's greatest detective, which we will talk about, because I don't necessarily agree with that. I just don't. We'll go through this, nor do I actually think Monica is a hero. I think we do this thing where we're like, slay, yes, queen, oh my God. Monica did great, oh my God. She's going to be a one-hit wonder, most likely, but man, what a one-hit wonder. Nobody, if she doesn't come back for another season, nobody's done it like Monica Garcia. Unfortunately, I don't know if she'll be able to profit off this the way that she might have wanted to. I think a big question I would have for Monica right out of the gate is, what did you expect to happen? How long did you expect this secret to be held? Or did you know it was eventually going to come out? Were you just biding your time? How nervous were you filming any and every scene on this season? Did you think maybe it would come out in the second season? Did you think maybe the third? Did you think maybe not at all? Also, there were so many MacGuffins, so many things thrown into our path. Monica's mom, LD millionaire. That was thrown out there. So many questions. Lisa Barlow's $60,000 ring she lost in an airport bathroom in Palm Springs. What happened with that? So many little mysteries, so many unanswered questions, but at the same time, what a fulfilling season. This is what it's all about, folks. This is what it's all about. And we just had Scandival last year, but I love that Real Housewives, especially I love that Salt Lake had an amazing season. I mean, listen, unfortunately, a lot of pain. I mean, it takes people going through a lot of pain sometimes to make an excellent season of television, and especially Housewives. But my God, are you not entertained? I do wonder, as I've wondered many times, and I think the first time I uttered this was in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills the first season during COVID when it was talked about Erica Jane's husband. Oh, yeah, Tangerati. I was wondering, oh my God, now we're bilking people out of millions of dollars. Where do we go from here? And then the next year, Jen Shah was accused of a very similar thing. Okay, now it's calmed down. Where do we go from here? Oh, crap. We have a Jen Shah accomplice potentially that also gave testimony to put her in prison. She now is on the show. And not only that, she has created a burner Instagram account that has trolled these ladies for upwards of 3 years. Reality Von Tease. There are so many unanswered questions. And like I said in yesterday's episode, we now start the long, tenuous journey with a 3-part Salt Lake City reunion. I believe last year we only got 2 parts. Is that right? Because Jen Shah backed out of the one-on-one interview that Andy Cohen was trying to do. And we will talk about the Andy of it all in the course of however long this will be. But do you have a soda? Do you have a drink? Do you have some snacks? This might be a long one, so buckle in. Thank you for being here, folks. I know you have a lot of options, and I'm probably your third or fourth stop in terms of listening to recaps of this, but I did want to wait a day. I didn't want to rush this because I wanted to see what else shook out today. And like I told you yesterday, I wanted to see how I felt about it. I wanted to see after the initial excitement wore off and when I watched again what I thought of it. What good television, though. And also hats off to the other ladies who really kept mum on the big reveal. Heather didn't reveal this. Lisa, I mean, it was very hinted at. We all knew they didn't like Monica. I remember being at BravoCon and talking to one of the Salt Lake ladies and saying that Monica was persona non grata. She was not hanging out with any of the ladies. And this was before they filmed the reunion, right? Then they filmed the reunion, and I believe Whitney potentially refollowed her. The only person that Monica still had in her corner after the reunion was good old Mary Cosby. It's good old Mary Cosby. Sorry, it's not even that funny, but I just thought Mary Cosby showed up at Kathy Hilton's holiday party and she did red carpet interviews where she was like, I like Monica. I like the cut of her jib. I like that. So Mary Cosby still thinks Monica's a bright shining star. But the more important question is, where do you stand on this? This seems to divide people of, should she come back? Should she come back for a next season? Oh, they can't invite her. It's too far. It's too far. It's too much. And I do understand that to a degree, right? That makes sense. Let's walk through that, right? Well, you can't have somebody that is potentially going to reveal all of the secrets that they give out, or even when the cameras are down, all of that stuff. And then they've badmouthed these women so publicly, created an account. There's so many questions then of this person and what else they're capable of, right? Studied potentially under the tutelage of Jen Shah. I mean, the Jen Shah question still is such a big question in my head of Heather making this big impassioned practice speech at the very end at the triangle table final dinner and made this big thing of like, we all, went through this with Jen, but we will not go through this with you. Hey, Jen gave me the black eye. And I was like, wait a second. First off, Monica did not do what Jen Shah did. I'm not standing up for Monica, but didn't do that. Also, Mike, still to this day, what does Jen Shah have on these ladies? Honestly, what does Jen Shah have on Heather Gay? Like, it is wild that I'm like, Heather, where was this ballsiness with Jen Shah ever? Where was the screaming, breaking down, the facts, the lies, the information? Where was that speech to Jen Shah? Why, to this day, are you this scared of Jen Shah? And I feel like, in some ways there was a transference of anger that Heather potentially felt towards Jen Shah, and she was just giving it all directly to Monica. Another big question that I have that I think we got the answer to a little bit, that Heather revealed that she did know about this before she went on the trip to Bermuda, but she only got that phone call with the final evidence, whatever that was, in Bermuda. Now, I don't believe that. I believe Heather knew everything before she went in there. And I'll give you a couple of moments in this where I believe that you can see on her face. I also think it's very interesting. Like, I think some of these ladies aren't that good of actors, but I think when we watch it, we think, oh, yeah, that's acceptable. But then when you start to watch it back, you're like, no, these are tells. These are, you can tell when somebody's pushing too hard with their face. And I think that's interesting that sometimes we don't watch it the way we would watch a movie or we would watch something where you're like, oh, this person's doing too much with their face. I mean, like, look at the active listening that's happening. It reminded me of being in acting class. And I would tell somebody, you're pushing too hard on the line. Just ease up. Don't attack the line that way. Just relax. It looks like you're the guilty one in this scene in Law and Order. And there was a couple moments where I definitely think Heather knew. There was one moment when they were shopping in Bermuda when Monica had to use her credit card to pay for Heather's goods, which, by the way, I jumped on Monica Garcia's live last night and I asked her a question, which she answered. That I said, hey, did Heather ever pay you back the $750 that you put on your credit card, your Chive or Chime credit card, for the stuff that you bought her because Heather didn't bring her wallet with her? And Monica revealed that Heather has not paid her back. So I know Heather and Beauty Lab and Laser is suing Monica for like $2,100. So $750. I mean, we can deduct that from the $2,100, but now they're suing each other, I think. So a lot of useless money being spent there. That is one moment where you can see Heather's face when that card declines, where you can see all over Heather's face, oh, something's going on here. Oh, here it is. Something more to add to the mystery. And of course, that one moment at the beach that we saw in last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago, the episode, when Monica says, me, I would be the one to make a meme account or something. And Heather goes, no, you would never do that. Don't say that. You wouldn't make a meme account. And her face is like, I gotcha. But you go back and watch that. Come on, tell me that Heather does not know. Heather knew. Also, Meredith Marks admitted that she knew. She saw the footage going into this trip. Now, I think Angie K didn't know. I do think Angie K potentially doesn't know a lot. I think Angie K is just happy to be there. I think Whitney probably didn't know anything. And I think Lisa Barlow definitely didn't know anything. Or some of these ladies might have been told it and they just weren't even listening. You do got to active listen on these shows. And I think some of those ladies are not. But there is so many mysteries. I wish they would air the 3-part reunion on back-to-back nights. That's what I wish so much, because I want all the answers now, or at least all of the stuff they filmed. I want it now. I want to finish this mystery now. I don't want to drag it on for 3 weeks. I will gladly watch it, devour it, all of that stuff. But I don't know, there's part of me that wants some sort of finality. But will they have Monica back? A lot of people are saying, no, it's gone too far. But has it? In a sense, but like I could point you to so many examples now of Lisa Rinna would have been in this spot at some point, you guys. Lisa Rinna was getting her hands dirty in certain ways, and especially with social media and Instagram accounts, that I think these ladies all collect information on each other. In fact, I don't even think this is plot lines for most things. I don't think we all act all like, oh my God, I've never heard of anything like this. Maybe in terms of a false identity on Instagram, but we've heard of things like this many times. How many arguments have we had on each iteration of the Real Housewives where people are accused of collecting information? Even on this season of Real Housewives of Miami, they talk about it. They talk, oh, well, that person DM'd me and I said this, or I heard this, and I got this piece of information. And then we find out later that Marisol was soliciting information in DMs. I mean, what is the difference? What is the difference? I don't know. I don't even know if I know the answer to that, but it is something that I keep thinking about. Thou doth protest too much. Now, Monica did a great season of television, and I do wonder if we didn't have Monica, what this season would have been. And if Monica is not back next season, I guarantee the first episode of season 5 will be called something like Picking Up the Pieces. The 4 women plus Angie K, who is Greek, try to go on about their lives, but a mysterious newcomer reveals information that they had not yet known. It's going to be the same thing like with Jen Shaw. They will talk about Monica and what she did and how hard it's to trust new people in this circle. I don't know. I'm really, really excited to find out where you go from here. And hats off to Shed Media, the production company, from top to bottom. I said this last year about Scandival and Evolution Media. Shed Media handled this amazing. Everything from the music to the editing. to the trip. They got 4 episodes out of the Bermuda trip. They handled this so well on a season that we came at and said it was going to be horrible. It was going to be a mess. How do you pick up after Jen Shah left such a big mess? People were up in arms about Mary Cosby. And I almost think Mary Cosby was this look over here when something else is going on over here that they don't want us to poke around in because they're actually filming a show. I almost think Mary Cosby was this amazing distraction to get us upset in certain ways when all along there's this whole other insidious plot. I still don't know if it was to take down the Housewives, but I got to tell you, being online and having people talk shit about you or you talk shit about them, I mean, I don't know. I've seen this now. I've been on the old Instagram in this capacity for 4 years. I've seen a lot of shit. In fact, that Reality Von Teese account follows me and I follow it. I don't really remember. I remember the Jen Shah stuff. I remember, I think, first following it when some of those videos were posted where Jen Shah was like going fuck wild on some of her employees. And I thought Jen Shah is disgusting. And that's another thing that I think we can be in full agreement on. Jen Shah is disgusting. Jen Shah treated her Shah squad horrible. We can all be in agreement on that, but I don't remember. And some of the other accounts, I'm sure, have all of this information about what she said about the other ladies, because these ladies truly seemed in fear of their lives. Oh my God, this account has ruined my life. Whitney's like, I can't believe it's this account that bullied me forever. And I don't even know what this account said about Whitney. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, let's go back to the Bad Mormon book, which, by the way, we found out Heather Gay has a book called Bad Mormon. She talked about it for the first time on this episode. No, but I find it interesting. I don't know. So I do think I understand the feeling of betrayal, right? Of somebody that is in the quote unquote inner circle. And then you find out there's a meme account. But like Monica says, once again, I'm not standing up for Monica, but Monica said all of you people loved it. She pointed out Angie K laughing at everything she posted. The other Angie that was on last season with the, remember the fat fucking elf on a shelf husband? That's not me saying it. That was a direct quote. They, going on Instagram and creating fake accounts. I mean, this doesn't seem that shocking when you look at the mean streets of Salt Lake City, the David Lynchian quality that Salt Lake City is. But wow, fascinating. So we're going to break this down moment by moment, scene by scene. I want to thank Laura Beth Harp, who took the notes for me on this final episode. Laura Beth Harp, amazing, amazing woman. And thank you for all of your hard work. And by the way, Laura Beth Harp, she's pregnant now. So isn't that amazing? Congratulations, Laura Beth, to you and your family. I'm so excited for you. And please keep that baby away from Salt Lake City as much as you can. That's got to be, we will never travel with you to Salt Lake City, period. And how are you guys doing? That was only a quick 18-minute intro. Are you good? I mean, it's exciting to have good television, right? And we're only at like January 3rd. Imagine what the rest of the year can bring. I only mean TV wise. Who cares about our own lives? Ooh, this is interesting, actually. My friend Savannah Williams posted this online. And she wrote, way too excited to see who gets more IG followers after tonight's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, this is where the Real Housewives of Salt Lake ladies stood before the season finale. Whitney Rose was at 416,000. Angie K is only at 34.4 thousand. How can that be true? Are you kidding me? Angie only has 34.4 thousand. Poor Angie K. Did you hear that I heard this rumor that she's Greek? Maybe if she advertised that more, she would get more. Yeah. Oh my God. So last night she only had 34.4. Meredith at 518,000. Lisa Barlow only at 341,000. I love only. Monica at 345,000. Holy, how is Angie this? I'm truly shocked. I know we tease Angie a lot, but there's no way no, I just saw it with my own eyes. Anyways, Monica Garcia, 345,000, Heather at 511,000. And then this was the update just as of like 4 minutes ago. It's 7:29 Pacific Standard Time. Whitney gained 4,000 followers after last night's episode. Angie K gained 1.3 thousand. Poor Angie. Man, did you see some of Angie's faces during that triangle table dinner at the end? She was like, dropping and locking. It was weird. Meredith gained 5,000. I gained 5,000 followers last night. Very good. Lisa Barlow gained 5,000. Monica Garcia, get this, you guys, gained 25,000 followers last night. Heather gained 7,000 followers. Isn't it wild? Monica, I mean, we can beat around the bush, but Monica did some shit and she gained 25,000 followers last night. She now has more followers than Lisa Barlow. Isn't that wild? That blows me away. I don't know, man. If I was Shed Media, they got some decisions to be making. How do you go on? I mean, God, this is where I wish I was in production conversations because it truly is. Oh my goodness, it is very fascinating. Um, okay, that was that was a little Instagram corner. Um, let's see. Do I want to get into more stories about this? Or do I want to just hop into the recap and then get to these stories? Okay, it's all stories regarding Salt Lake. The only thing I will say, just reading those Instagram posts, is that remember with Scandival, remember it did help Ariana, right? In terms of brand deals, it launched her into another stratosphere, but it also helped the rest of the cast. It helped the rest of the cast. It even helped Tom Sandoval. It put his name further on the map than it ever has been. Now, this was an amazing season of television. And at the end of the day, just as we see with those numbers, it's going to help all of them. All of them benefit from this being an amazing season. They can all be mad, so mad, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, they are now part of one of the more successful, entertaining seasons in Housewives history. They have that under their belt. I mean, talk about Scary Island. This is up there. This is up there with Scary Island, this 4-part Bermuda little run. So, yeah, they can be mad all they want, but at the same time, there's got to be parts of them that are almost relieved that they were able to pull out an amazing season that is going to help all of them in terms of brand deals, in terms of followers. People are genuinely excited about this Housewives franchise, and that's what it's all about. So even though all of these women are saying, I would never film with her, I do not want to work with her, and a lot of us, the audience, saying the same thing. But when push comes to shove, it might make for good television. And at the end of the day, I know this might be controversial, is that that's what we watch The Housewives for. We watch it for insanity. Sure, are we going too far? That would be the question. But maybe this is the time we are testing those limits. And maybe the bigger question to ask is how do we use Monica next season and use her in a way where people can feel safe, or maybe use her in a way where she comes in and she is the punching bag for the entire cast. Maybe we let her back on the season. And Monica, if you're listening, hi, hello, fabulous first season, is that they put her out there and she hangs herself. I don't mean literally, but I mean, she might get herself into more trouble. The quest for celebrity is littered with bad intentions. And because somebody thinks that this will lead to so many other great things, not realizing that it's going to put more of a spotlight on their behavior. Case in point, Jennifer Shaw. So does Monica even want to come back at the end of the day? What else does Monica have in her closet? But like I've been talking about all season, I thought Monica was a lock for a second season before I knew this. And I thought we have so much more ground to explore, so much road in terms of her marriage, in terms of her cheating, in terms of that relationship with her mother. I mean, so many things to uncover. I mean, Tanisha, who she threw under the bus, who is now Heather Gay's, or I guess has been Heather Gay's hairstylist. Heather Gay is still working with Tanisha, which blows me away. Maybe bring Tanisha on the cast as a friend of. Why don't we blow this thing up? Just because we have somebody back on doesn't mean that we agree with everything that they do. I mean, we've had Erica Jane back on when she was so unrepentant for her husband's actions against those victims. We had her on, and yes, there is a difference, I know. But a lot of people have come back on with really horrible behavior and doing horrible things to their castmates. I'm just throwing out certain thoughts. Guys, I don't know exactly where I stand. So let's get into this and then we'll come back and I want to talk about Andy Cohen and I want to talk about Tanisha and I want to play some voice notes from all of these people, especially Andy Cohen in regards to Jen Shaw that he said today on his Sirius XM radio show. Okay, last one, baby. Episode 16, aired Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. This is entitled Mysteries Revealed? Question mark. I love what they did there with the question mark. Question mark. Mysteries revealed? I don't know. Huh? Okay, this is the description the cable company gives us. On their final day in Bermuda, Heather receives a devastating phone call. It is from Term Life Insurance. Swear to God, remember when I told you last week that I thought the phone call was going to be from Jen Shaw? That's why I'm really not even shocked with all of this. Because in my head, I was like, Jen Shaw calls from prison and throws Monica under the bus. Heather receives a is this Heather Gay? It's me, Randy from Term Life Insurance. I was just wondering if you're having a good day or not. Anyways, Heather, do you know that? Okay. Also, Meredith remains in hot water for her role in the rumors about Angie K. Do you love what they did there with the hot water? Because, she loves a good bath. And this, by the way, is one of the true crimes of this whole Bermuda episode. The first episode, Meredith complains about not having a bathtub. She almost dies. We fucking have a doctor on the scene. And even in this last episode, Meredith still does not have a bathtub. Nobody out of the kindness of their heart, even Angie K, has given Meredith the bathtub. I love that Mary's like, how dare you say these things, Monica, when it's like, you're all Judases, all of you around here. Nobody stepped up and like, Whitney, at one point you couldn't have been like, Meredith, why don't you take my room for the day so you can soak in the tub for 18 hours? Like, that cracks me up. That's what I'm saying. It's like, these women are already so horrible to each other. They are horrible to each other. Also, it says a bombshell about Heather's black eye is revealed. Oh, goodness, folks. And it isn't great that we usually know the answer already within ourselves. We knew last year that Jen Shaw gave Heather. We knew it in our souls. We knew it. We felt it in our brittle, brittle bones, folks. Okay, so here we go. We open. It is Bermuda. It says day 4. We're only day 4 into this trip, even though now it has spanned a month and a week of time in regards to how they aired this. I have to keep stopping recording because I keep getting information about Monica and some videos that I might play the audio, but man, I mean, this really does seem like Monica has a lot of trouble in her life. And I'm very curious what that actual pipeline is from, the problems in her marriage and then working with Jen Shaw, being potentially enticed by the money she was getting from Jen Shaw, and then all of the problems starting to happening to the point where she starts filming Jen Shaw. Then at what point did she create the Reality Von Tease account with these other people? Maybe Koa, maybe Tanisha, obviously more than just her were involved in this. And then how does it get to the point where she auditions to be on the show? Who pushes her name out there? Because usually how it works is that it's not an open casting call. You get recommended by somebody and then they do a pre-interview and they walk down that path. And at that point, what is she telling production? I want to see those interviews. They tape all of those interviews. So obviously the Jen Shaw connection enticed them, but how much did they do a background check on Monica? And then Monica's mom, I mean, all of these things. And the one thing that would help, if any of the Salt Lake City ladies are listening right now, please, will you let us know? Because it looks like Reality Von Tease, the account cleaned up their account and it only has Jen Shaw stuff on it right now. So I'm curious, what were the other things said on that account? You can bleep out, you can black out the bad parts if you're embarrassed by it, but let us know, let us see what they were posting, because right now it's just all Jen Shaw stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm in full support of showing everything that Jen Shaw did. It seemed like she really was horrible to so many people. So I'm all right. Okay, back to the thing, the situation at hand, the episode. It's Bermuda, day 4. And you guys, when I say a storm is brewing, if you are just judging by the sound, it is so dark and stormy, you guys. It is wild. Storms everywhere, and it's just fogs, clouds everywhere. You see Bermudian clouds, thunderclaps, and it's oh, 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 that music. It's Hans Zimmer out of that movie Inception. It's like, ho, 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 ho. And we see Heather. All of a sudden, it cuts to her on the beach, and she looks like, Colonel Mustard from the movie Clue, except it's like a beautiful yellow dress. She's fully made up. Her hair is flowing in the Bermudian thunder breeze. She has these big sunglasses on, and she's just standing by herself near the water, just stoic like a statue, but also using looking back and forth with her head. And it is just already so damn intense. And then we hear Heather's voice. Heather's voice just comes out like a clarion call. I feel like Heather has worked the last 4 seasons for this moment. She is like a pig in shit. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You can just tell that there is just a dramatic flair to her in this moment. Now, remember, Heather is an insane fan of the Housewives from the jump, way before she was on Housewives. So she knows the information already, and she knows how important this scene is. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, knowing that you are about to create groundbreaking television, and you can tell she's really leaning into this moment. You know that she knows what this is going to look like. And she says, we hear the voiceover, there's something I need to tell you guys, and it's big, and it's not good. Angie K is Greek. Ah, no. She says, and it's not good. And then all of a sudden, we get a flash forward. This is what I'm talking about with the editors. They're flashing forward, they're flashing back, they're using lighting effects, everything. And we flash back, or we flash forward, I'm sorry, we flash forward to the end of this episode where Heather's going, she's ridiculous. And Lisa's like, you're ridiculous too, Heather. And Heather's like, you have been bullying us all for 4 years. That's the flash forward. Now, they do this great thing in editing, and they did it in the trailer leading up to this, is that you didn't know where each lady was sitting. So all of these barbs that are being thrown back and forth, we didn't know who they were at. We didn't know if necessarily they were all towards Monica, because we saw everybody yelling at everybody. It kind of really teased it out. There was still this mystery of who is Heather talking about? What is going on? Now we flash back to the beach, and Heather goes, I had some information confirmed today, and I've been wrestling with it all day, and I'm not sure how to tell you. Well, I'm like, well, I think you kind of know. You asked everybody to go down by the beach. Also, where was Monica when everybody was at the beach? I mean, it feels like the house is literally, like 300 feet away, huge windows. Like, did Monica ever look out and go, hey, why is everybody dressed to the nines on the beach crying? Like, did one of the producers have to pull her in another room for a talking head so Heather could do this? I mean, come on. It seemed like it just seemed very weird that they're all meeting in view of the house. So now we flash forward again to the end, and Angie K is like, Monica, why were you talking shit about me? I thought we were friends. And Monica's like, you know why. You know why. And once again, this head placement is all over the place. So like I said, we don't know who necessarily is yelling at who. And then we flash back to the beach, and Heather goes, she is not who she says she is. Oh God, what a great beginning. It's epic. It's like a movie. It's truly amazing. But I will say, in retrospect, where was this episode about Jen Shaw? Jen Shaw never got her comeuppance from the other ladies on this show. And I feel like there is this transference where they are going to stomp Monica instead. Then we flash forward back to the end scene where Whitney goes, are you fucking serious? And Lisa's like, I'm fucking serious. And Angie K goes, you're a fucking nasty bitch. And then we flash back to the beginning, and Heather goes, she has plotted and profited from our lives and our pain. I can only imagine in that moment, Lisa Barlow's like, profited? What are we talking about? Can I get in on this? Woo! Then we flash forward again to the very end, and Meredith goes, that's not true. Let's move on. I've had enough of this conversation. Thank you. Wasn't Meredith super mellow? I mean, Meredith is funny when she wakes up and when she's just super mellow and relaxed. And at the very end, wasn't it wild to see how relaxed she was during this? Like, she was like, You would not have been able to tell any of this was going down if you just looked at Meredith's face. She needs a bathtub. That's what she needs a bathtub. Then we flash back to the beginning and Heather goes, it was lies, pure lies. Once again, I'm telling you, I don't think Heather will ever admit it, but I think the parts of the conversation on the beach and parts of the conversation at the triangle dinner table at the very end, she had mapped out what she wanted to say. Once again, that is not a bad thing. We go into situations, if we know what it's about to happen, we do kind of write things out in our head. I just think these were a little rehearsed in the sense of what Heather brought. I don't think rehearsed in the sense in front of the other ladies. She rehearsed it with them, but I do think she had a plan of action on the scene on the beach and the scene at the very end. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what I believe. So then we flash forward again, and Whitney goes, there's no dark ass little secret. Clearly, you're the one with the secret. And then we flash back to the beach at the beginning, and Heather goes, she's not our friend. And I got to tell you, the editing, it makes it look like that movie, The Ring, with the little girl coming out of the well. It was like staticky. It's all crazy and stuff like that. I almost thought they were going to be like, Monica's a subhuman creature that is from the ninth portal of hell. She has come to destroy us. And though also it is a little bit ridiculous when Heather goes, she's not our friend. None of you guys are friends. None of you. She's not our friend. Look around. You've all torn each other new assholes every episode. No, none of you guys are our friends. Are you crazy? And then we flash forward to the end of the scene, and Meredith goes, Heather, you have narrated me for years. It's enough. Meredith, the last couple of episodes, has gotten on the phrasing of stop narrating me. Like, where did she pick up this stop narrating me? Also, we left off last week's episode, remember, where Whitney was like, Heather, you have talked about me sexually in your book, and I will not stand for it. And Heather's like, get away from me. You're crazy and you're drunk. I am neither. Yes, you are both. And then Heather ran across the street and production had to chase her. And then Heather goes, I just need to have a think. I need to have a think, please. Please leave me alone. I need to have a think. I've been thinking about that line for the last week and a half. I need to have a think. Every time something dramatic happens to me now, I need to have a think. So then we flash forward to. So yeah, Heather, you have narrated me for years. It's enough. And Heather goes, you need to own it right now. Once again, tricky editing, because it would almost have us believe Heather is saying that to Meredith when in actuality, Heather is saying that to Monica. In a voiceover, Heather goes, how did we all fall for it? The eternal question, how did we all fall for it? And I was like, how did you fall for any of this? Like, how did you fall for Jen Shaw's bullshit? Like, we warned you for years about Jen Shaw. How did you fall? How did you not? We knew you'd fall. You guys all fall for bullshit. You're all rubes. The quest for stardom and housewifery has led you to believe anything that is put out in front of you. How did we all fall for it? Oh my goodness. I think that was the most rhetorical question ever. Okay, then we do a backwards edit where it's like backward. Fast forward. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the image pops up. No taglines this week. Ooh, you in trouble, Monica. You in trouble, girl. And then the Chiron flashes on screen 8 hours earlier. Think about how much can happen in just 8 hours. And it's just another day in Bermuda. We see Meredith walking into the kitchen of the house, talking to the staff. And Meredith's like, good morning, good morrow. And how the house staff is like, hi, good morning. And Meredith's like, how are you? And the guy's like, I'm great. Did you have a great sleep? And Meredith goes, so. It's not terrible. Not great. Last night's wine didn't help. That's for sure. Also, you heard about my bathtub situation? It's not good. We then see a shot of Lisa Barlow, just beautiful Lisa Barlow. You can tell she's very content on her balcony, drinking some drip coffee. And any shot of Lisa, I don't know. I truly love most of these women, and Lisa Barlow really cracks me up. She's just there, just content. Like, I love this. I am missing Jack, who's about to go on his mission, but I am loving being in Bermuda with my drip coffee on my balcony. And then we head on over to Monica's room, and guess who's in bed with Monica? Miss Whitney. Whitney is in bed. They are sleeping together. Nothing lascivious, you guys. Get your heads out of the gutter. And Monica wakes up and opens the blinds. And Monica's like, Whitney. And Whitney's like, it's so bright. And she reaches for like her big old sunglasses. And Monica's like, I know, but look at that view. It's so perfect. How did you sleep? See the beautiful Bermudian view, right? So everything is light and fun and airy, but they never explain why they did wind up in bed together. And once again, it left me thinking, Whitney, this would have been a perfect night to give Meredith your room with bathtub. Like, we can't give. Come on, give the lady a bathtub. She's practically dying. You just her energy is an all-time low. Anyways, Whitney, she reaches over, puts on the sunglasses, and she's like, I slept like a baby. And Monica goes, how are you feeling, by the way? Are you going to talk to Heather today? And Whitney's like, well, last night was like it pisses me off because I tried to go down to the beach and like have a moment with her, and Heather like still wouldn't even talk to me. Whitney in a confessional goes, last night when we got back, I really wanted to make things right with Heather because of what happened. And we flash back to that night before, like I just talked about, where they were completely fighting, and others like, it's not fair that you sex shame Monica and exploit my sexuality in your book. Heather, I want to have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation with you, Whitney. You're drunk and you're crazy. Get away from me. I'm not drunk or crazy. You are both. I need to have a think. And then Whitney in a confessional goes, but she wasn't ready to talk yet. And I decided to just take a moment for myself. And she grieved and honored her friend Sherry, who we know passed away during the filming of this season. We don't see this scene, unfortunately, but what it sounds like is that there was big drama, and then Whitney must have gotten emotional about her friend and just sat at the beach and potentially cried, because we do know Lisa Barlow talked about it, which we find out in a second, but I am curious why we didn't see this. Monica says, well, when I couldn't find you, Whitney, I was like, hey, have you guys seen Whitney? And Lisa was like, no, she's probably somewhere being dramatic. And I was like, And when he's like, for Lisa to call me dramatic, I'm sorry, bitch. You're the one that lost your shit on a yacht. I love Whitney. Whitney's language has really increased. Very verbose this season. When she told Heather a couple episodes, shut the fuck up, Heather. Shut the fuck up, Heather. Please. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, we flash back to the day before on the yacht where Lisa is going at Meredith. Just admit it. You fucked up. Say, I fucked up, and we can all move on. You fucked up. I mean, that's all she wanted. That's not too much to ask, is it, folks? She did fuck up, but I do love, I love Whitney pointing these things out about her. So Whitney's like, that pisses me off. And Monica's like, yeah. And Whitney's like, I just want to hide and go back to sleep. And Monica's like, okay, me too. We have no clue what is yet to come. We go back into the kitchen and we see Angie K walking in her gigantic sunglasses. And Angie's like, good morning. And the staff's like, good morning. And Angie's like, is this your homemade granola? And they're like, yes, you get some low fat yogurt. And Angie K's like, keeping us in shape before we get out there in our bikinis, right? And there's like a really awkward silence with the house staff. They're like, yeah, okay. Like, also, Angie K, I was shocked. The house staff sets Angie K up with, yes, you've got some low fat yogurt. And Angie K had the opportunity, and you do have to admire the restraint, because she could have said, is it Greek yogurt? That is what we call growth, folks. Angie K in a confessional goes, despite last night's drama, I am super excited for today. I'm still on the cast. We're going on mopeds. We're going shopping. Let's just say, I hope these bitches can rally, because we have a fun day planned. And let's talk about the character arc of Angie K from the first episode to now. What a season! From inviting herself on the Palm Springs trip that pissed Meredith off to say, you can leave, to now where she was officially invited on a cast trip. Angie K is a lock for next season. Angie K walks down to the pool, and the house staff brings her plate to the table beside her, and they spread out her towel and her lounge chair for her. And Angie K goes, I could get used to this. No wonder we're not going to want to go home. Next, we go to Heather's room, where she is getting dressed for the day. And Whitney comes in, and it's like, it's me, Whitney. And Heather's like, come in. Hi. Can we talk? Of course. I'm sorry that I upset you so badly last night. I honestly did not expect that reaction. I know that reaction surprised even me, Heather says. I do like that Heather, you can push her to a point where she becomes Heather Hulk gay, like, oh, I'm hulking out. I'm going to move you. Whitney goes, you've mentioned a few times, like, if you'd read the book, but I consciously didn't want to because I was nervous of how I would react. And Heather's like, okay, good. We're talking about my book. Okay, but I read you, Whitney, every page and every word of you. I read you the whole section. Yeah, I know. in the beginning. And then you took out the part that I asked you to. Yeah, you loved it, but I hadn't read it. But I read it to you, Whitney. You heard every word. Not after the revision. This is a classic game of who's on first, you know? I took the word out, Whitney, that you didn't want in there. Of course, we found out the word later is fart knocker. Whitney goes, I just felt like you replaced it. No, really, what part didn't you like? The Titanic analogy. I didn't like the Titanic analogy. And Heather's like, that was always in there. That was the whole reason I did the panties thing. Yes, yes, but the way that when I read it, Heather's like, and you said it was your idea. So I said, okay, I'll change that, even though it was less funny. We've got a Fran Lebowitz on our hands here. Heather Gay, she knows comedy. Heather in a confessional goes, this is everything that enraged her. And she reads from her book, Bad Mormon, Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls wearing this. It was a Titanic nod. I don't get it. She reached down and slowly removed her pirate patch panties. Ahoy, matey. I photographed her from belly button to backside without breaking a sweat. This is the book. This is what I got crucified for her. Also, isn't it interesting? And I'm just putting it out here, but Heather was a boudoir photographer. Boudoir, and I mean, obviously, boudoir photography, very classy, very tasteful, but at the same time, there is a sexual element about it. You're highlighting and celebrating someone's sexuality, someone's femininity. And then this season, for Heather to really pull back in terms of talking about sexuality, I find it very interesting and wondering what necessarily happened. Was it just too much getting wasted with Jen Shaw last season when they were running around with their tatas out? You know, Whitney in the scene goes, I just felt a little bit exploited. Like it made me feel like it wasn't in a she's doing this for her husband. It's like she's down to get down on all fours and I can't photograph her from belly button to butthole, like all of that part. And Heather's like, I didn't even use the term butthole, Whitney. I don't think you actually read it. Well, whatever. I wouldn't ever write that word, by the way. When the paperback comes out, Heather does need to switch it to butthole because I'm sorry, Heather. Now that is funny. Belly button to butthole. I'm sorry. I'm a sixth grader. Whitney in a confessional goes, I paid her. She was the photographer for boudoir photo shoots. Okay. Like I'm not the Titanic where I invited her to my room and say, photograph me, Jack. Like this is not that. It was a transaction for a gift from my husband for our anniversary. I want you to shoot me from my back to my butthole. Whitney goes, it hurt my feelings, Heather. It made me feel a little bit like my sexuality was being taken advantage of. And Heather's like, yeah. Heather, you can just tell, I'm sorry. Heather does not like Whitney. It just feels like Whitney's like a drag on Heather. You just feel that energy. Whitney goes, and so I just had the moment of like being upset about that. And Heather goes, okay, I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry it got to where it did, you know? Yeah, good. Cousins forever. The two of them kind of obligatory hug. And Heather goes, cousin Whitney Rose. She never bugs me at all, never has bad timing at all. And Whitney goes, shh, and covers Heather's mouth with her hand. It's not bad timing. And Heather's like, I know, it's perfect. I just brought it up. You're the one that was crazy. And Heather's like, yeah, I'm the crazy one. And the ladies kind of half-heartedly laugh. And then Whitney leaves. And Heather, she turns around. You can just tell she's kind of like, oh God, oh my God. But also, this was a little bit of foreshadowing if you think about it, because Heather already knows tonight's the night. And Heather in the last line goes, yeah, I'm the crazy one. Almost kind of like, you'll see who actually you'll see the one with the real back to butthole at dinner tonight. We come to a commercial break. We come back from that, and the ladies are walking out of the house into the Sprinter van to head out for the day. What a fabulous season, though. Just even in terms of the Sprinter van scenes. We have the Sprinter van, of course, with the driver, Jonathan. He's been in all of these 4 days. Jonathan deserving combat pay, of course. But we've had other iconic Sprinter van scenes this season. Remember when Mary Cosby ditched the ladies and had the Sprinter van driver drive her to Mickey D's for a fish fillet sandwich? Iconic. Remember Heather having too many espresso martinis and peeing and puking in the Sprinter van? They had to burn that Sprinter van, folks. That Sprinter van is no longer, it was a biohazard after that happened. Anyways, Lisa's like, all right, here we go. What's up, Jonathan? You dressed for the mood. And Jonathan's like, good afternoon, ladies. Are you dressed for a cruise? Because Jonathan's all dressed up. The ladies arrive at a parking lot with all the scooters, and Lisa's like, oh my God, you guys, we're going to look so cute on our scooters. And Angie K's like, I'm Greek. Welcome to our little scooter ride through Bermuda. The ladies all get on their scooters, they get ready to ride, and it turns out some of these ladies probably shouldn't be driving scooters in the first place. Heather in a confessional says, I'm worried about Meredith. Meredith hasn't been behind a wheel since 1987. And we do a talking head of Meredith being asked by a producer about this. Meredith in her tight, like kind of purplish red leather Britney Spears get up. She looks very beautiful. Meredith like, oh, sorry. Before we get to the confessional, Meredith is like, how do you get off this back thing on the scooter? And then in the confessional, the producer goes, when's the last time you've driven a car? And Meredith just pauses and thinks, she's like, that I have no idea. I have no idea. You can tell in this, it seems like Meredith has gone into some sort of K-hole. She's literally remembering probably decades of when the last time she drove was. Heather in a confessional goes, can you ride a moped if you're wearing a double-breasted blazer? I don't know. LOL. We see a montage of the ladies driving their mopeds. Monica is exceptionally bad at driving her moped. I almost thought she was just trying to be a suicide bomber at this point. Probably found out Heather was onto her and almost runs into the Sprinter van multiple times. And in fact, one of the instructors is like, you're going to die if you do this. Like, she's like, oh, my bad, my bad. They finally get on the road, and then they see a goat on the side of the road, which is a kind of a tip of the hat to earlier in the season when they had the bonnets on churning butter with their hands. And they did that little goat bit where they're like, hey, bitch, what's going on? And we see a goat. And once again, it's, hey, bitch, beware of Monica. Angie's not fully Greek. They finally come to a stopping point in town, and it is time to go shopping. Women be shopping. Am I right, folks? And Heather's like, you guys, there is a cute perfumery that I want to go check out. Does anyone want to come with me? And Lisa's like, no, I want to go shop. And Wendy's like, I want to go shopping. And Monica's like, yeah. And Heather's like, you'll come with me? And Lisa's like, we're going to go look at clothes. And Meredith goes, see you shortly. Lisa, Whitney, and Meredith go shopping together. And then Monica, Heather, and Angie K, they go together. So Heather is hanging out with Monica. And Angie K goes, are you guys ready to go home? It's just too nice. Angie K, every time she talks in the beginning of the episode, is like, I want to stay here. I don't want to go home. Then she said it 3 times so far this episode. Monica in a confessional goes, even though I didn't get to meet up with my family in Bermuda, exploring Bermuda is very nostalgic for me. Just knowing that my family, my ancestors who created burner accounts on Instagram in Bermuda in the 1800s, just knowing that my family came here and helped build these buildings and these homes, it's truly such a gift to be able to be here. Oh my God. Now I'm thinking at some point, did any of these ladies in that moment at the very end go, Monica, give us your phone right now and your password? Like, I want to see how Monica used it. Did she have like a separate account attached to her Instagram account? Like, how did her burn? Anyways, Angie K, Heather, and Monica, they walk into this old smell good place, this perfumery together. And Angie K's like, have you ever been to a perfumery in Europe? And Monica's like, oh yeah, like every other month. And they all laugh because that's a rich person's joke. We flash over to Whitney, Lisa, and Meredith. They're shopping in a clothing store and they're trying on different pieces as you do, showing each other different things. And Whitney has this like kind of bag that looks like a bucket hat. And Whitney's like, that's very Lisa. I kind of think this bag is really cute. It's vegan. The bag is vegan. And Lisa's like, I kind of do think these are adorable. And Mary's like, I think I should get this what I have in my hands. And when he's like, yeah. And Mary's like, unless you're getting it, that's okay. No, that's you. You get it, Meredith. Back to the perfumery. The salesperson is telling the ladies, this is a fragrance that was recovered from one of the many shipwrecks that we have. And Heather's like, fascinating. This is my scent. Like, I'm sorry, I wear Old Navy cologne, but like, honestly, if somebody said this was found in a dirty shipwreck and Heather's like, that's my scent. This smells like dirty barnacles. Ooh, love. Oh, they're going to know when I'm coming. Monica's like, oh my God, Heather, that's so you. And Heather's like, 100% here. Let me get my card. And she starts digging in her bag and goes, oh shit. Oh shit. And Monica says, "Do you love the smell of coffee?" And Angie's like, I think they're talking about another perfume that smells like coffee. What the fuck is this place? Like, so far, it's a perfume that smells like a dirty boat and then like coffee perfume. Like, what do we have? Like, maybe like a ranch dressing perfume these ladies would be interested in? Anyways, Angie's like, I like coffee in the morning. Yeah, it's strong like that, this scent. And Heather's like, Ange, can I borrow a credit card? I didn't bring my card. And Ange goes, that's what I was just thinking. And Heather goes, did you bring your credit card? And Angie K goes, I have a picture of mine. I'm going to see if I can find it. So I'm guessing that's on her phone, unless she just keeps Polaroids in her purse of her credit cards. Also, this is an interesting thing here. Now, somebody I read online said, oh, do you think Heather was trying to get Monica to bust out her credit card to get information? I don't, but at the same time, isn't it weird to set this up and then forget your wallet? Isn't that kind of interesting? Especially, does that mean that Heather is just riding around these mopeds without a license? Have we looked into that? That's the true crime here. So Angie's like, Monica goes, hey, Heather, I mean, I have money, you guys. Like, I can pay for it. And that's, I think they probably didn't think Monica had money, nor did any of us. And Heather goes, well, I'll pay you back at the house. And Monica's like, whatever, that's totally fine. And Heather's like, are you sure? And Monica's like, yes, yes. And Heather goes, thank you, babe. I appreciate that. And the sales clerk is like, it comes to $725. Zoinks. What? Oh my God, we're back to the other lady shopping. And Lisa goes, how much do I owe you? What's the damage? And the sales clerk's like $918. And Lisa's like, thank you very much. And Lisa, she busts out all cash, dude. Crisp $100 bills, baby. And then the sales clerk goes to Whitney. This one is $770. Okay, there you go. Dude, those sound bowls and all the crystals must be raking it in. She bought little Bobby, the 13-year-old, a Mercedes golf cart. Now she's dropping $770 on a purse. What? Anyways, back to the perfumery. And Heather's like, thank you, sugar mama. And the sales clerk is like, uh-oh, wait, your chive card is not working. And Monica's like, oh, shit. And Monica in a confessional goes, it would be icing on my mother effing birthday cake if my freaking card declined right now in Bermuda in front of these women. I mean, that would be the worst thing that could possibly happen today. She goes, nobody would ever see me again. I will disappear into the Bermuda Triangle on purpose, which actually would have been a very interesting way to end this episode if they banish Monica from the house and she just walks into the ocean. She just lets the sea envelop her. Anyways, during this is a moment, if you watch it back, watch Heather's face. She's like, oh, what's going on with this credit card? Is it more crime? She so knew at this moment, folks. Monica's typing on her phone. Oh, okay, international transactions allow. I want to click this. Okay, let's try it again. And the sales clerk is like, okay, we're good. And Monica's like, these bitches were like, card declined. They were going to talk shit. And Angie's like, no, I remembered to do that when I left. I like that Angie's like, we weren't going to talk shit, but I'm not an idiot like you are. I told my banks that I was going to be out of the country. The other ladies arrive at the van. Everybody's back from their shopping gallivanting. And Lisa's like, I'm going to text the other girls and let them know we're here. It's the wharf, right? And she texts, and Lisa's like, the van is waiting outside the wharf. Tin roof rusted. Heather's like, see you soon in a text. So Heather goes, okay, I know where they want us to meet them. And Angie's like, Heather's our GPS. I don't want to leave. Heather goes, I am the GPS. I'm like feeling so happy right now. Like the sun, the Bermuda breeze. They arrive at the wharf and Heather's like, hi guys. And Lisa's like, hey, oh, I see a lot of bags. And Heather goes, oh, did you guys get to shop? Like good stuff? And they walk towards the van and they all see Jonathan like, oh my God, it's so fun. When he's like, I want to ride the mopeds back. I do too, Lisa says. And Angie's like, I know, that was amazing. The ladies head back to the house and the screen goes black. Black as night, folks. And the Chiron, the lettering comes up 1 hour later. And guess what? We hear the thunder waves again. Oh, oh, oh. It's crashing, lightning. And then a cell phone rings. We hear Heather talking, but the camera is outside her room. This is the footage that started off this season. And Heather goes, hey, what did you find out? Are you kidding me right now? Shut the fuck up. And we see producers. They're all in shorts. Nobody's wearing pants while they work. They're all scrambling around. The camera is just getting feet. And we hear Heather going, I'm trembling, like trembling. I cannot believe it's her. How could she do this to us? I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm freaking the fuck out. And a producer starts knocking on Heather's door, but she doesn't answer. And the producer's like, just go in. Bravo, bravo, echo, bravo, go in, go in. The cameraman and the producers go into her room and see her on the phone on her balcony. And Heather's like, you guys, no, seriously, seriously, no, you guys. And Heather is known to manhandle people, so I just can't believe she didn't move them with, just like, and also Heather knows she's mic'd up at this moment. Also, Heather knew this info. I'm sorry. I think Heather is in the right for obviously calling her out, but I think Heather knew all of this. I think this phone call was a signal, if anything, because she was trying to find a way to bring it in. The question is, what did Shed Media know and when? How much were they involved in all of this? Heather slams the door and the screen goes black. We go to commercial. We come back. It says Bermuda, day 4. We're still in day 4. But now the Chiron says 4 hours later. So Heather found this information out an hour after they got back from the wharf. And then 4 hours later, if we're to believe Heather's story, she just found out about this. It was the final puzzle piece or things that she was suspicious of. So in these 4 hours, Heather is crafting these little dolls, potentially, to put out at the dinner. She's like, put the tables in a triangle. I want it very dramatic. Like, she had to have tipped the producers off of like, you're about to see some serious shit. And she had to let the producers know, hey, I want to do a scene down by the beach with 3 of the OG cast members where I reveal something very secret. Because at no point did Heather reveal this and a camera dropped because the cameraman was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Monica? Reality Von Teese? So all of this is being planned in allegedly this 4-hour period. Now we see Meredith. This is our glam scene for the night. We see Meredith getting her hair done. And you guys, Meredith looks loose as a goose. She's like, Meredith goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the hairdresser's like, trust me, you're going to love it. And she goes, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to roll with it. And her eyes are closed and she's very smiley. And the hairdresser's like, yes. It would have been great if later she came out with like a full mohawk or something like that. We see a montage of the other ladies all getting their glam done. And we see Heather in her room looking exasperated. Heather in a confessional goes, I just got this devastating information and my head is swimming. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take her to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego, baby. Heather gonna take Monica down to Kokomo. Okay, this is the thing that I also want to point out. If we look at last season, when they did the San Diego trip with Jen Shaw, remember when it got brought up at dinner, I think Jen Shaw's misgivings, and this was after Jen Shaw threw Monica's shoes into the beautiful ocean. And Heather told Jen Shaw, said, hey, don't worry, just ask this about me and we'll get them off you. Like, Heather was self-producing in that moment. Once again, I don't love when housewives self-produce, but let's leave room for the option that Heather does know. Heather is producing. Heather is doing the Heather show. And it's not bad. It's great, right? But this isn't all just spur of the moment. That is something that I'm more and more sure of the more I watch this. So we see Monica walk outside of the backyard where the dinner is set up. And then we see Whitney walk out. And Monica's like, look at the lights. And Whitney's like, hi, Monica. And Heather in a confessional goes, but it's too big. It's too damning. And I have to deal with it. There is only one person here in Bermuda to deal with it, and it is me. It is I, Heathereth Gayeth. The rest of the ladies come out and greet each other. They head to the tables to sit down. Now, the tables are set up in a triangle because they're Bermuda Triangle. We get some overhead shots. We're like, okay, I get it. It's a triangle. Very Midsummer, very Hereditary. The symbolism very deep. There's a little bit of witchcraft in here somewhere. And Lisa is like, okay, let's have dinner. Heather, this looks so pretty. I read somewhere today of like, oh my God, Heather did it all. She set up this dinner. Like, no, Heather wasn't out there like putting the tables in a triangle. Like, come on, you guys. Heather in a confessional goes, but what's about to go down could change our friendships forever. Also, I'm going to push back once again on friendships. These are light friendships at most. Heather at the dinner goes, you guys, find your name. Okay. And you're going to see some dolls at your play setting. This is where I was like, wait, what? You're going to see some dolls at your play. I was like, oh shit. It's for a game that we're going to play a little bit later. Show us on the doll where Monica hurt you. Whitney's like, oh my God, the dolls are back. Oh no, the dolls are back. And these are the dolls, I guess, that they brought to the churning butter episode that we didn't really get to see full dollage, but we do a flashback. And everybody's like, oh, this doll is Eunice. And Whitney's like, oh my God, the dolls. The ladies get served their dinner and they start eating. And Heather's like, well, ladies, the theme for tonight's dinner is from back to butthole. No, she goes, the theme for tonight's dinner is the Bermuda Triangle. Sorry, the more I talk about there's a little bit of Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny and Heather Gay of like, what car was the gentleman driving? And there is this flair, this dramatic flair to Heather that I really, the more I watch it, I truly appreciate it. But it is really funny. So lightning, more flashes, thunder rumbles. I truly wonder if there were lightning flashes and thunder rumbles, or they just added all of this in post. Heather's like, and legend has it that the Bermuda Triangle is the mysterious Devil's Island, lightning flashes, where unsolved mysteries occur and are never explained. Lightning flashes again. There are shipwrecks. There is sunken treasure. There are unsolved mysteries. She said unsolved mysteries twice now, where unsolved mysteries occur and are never explained. There are shipwrecks. There is sunken treasure. There are unsolved mysteries again. Okay, David Blaine. Okay, quit with the magic. So, but I was saying, these are prepared statements. The camera does this twirly effect, like thunder rumbles again. And Heather goes, on this trip, we have learned a lot about each other. But if there's one unsolved mystery, why didn't you just license the unsolved mystery music? Okay, Heather goes, but if there's one unsolved mystery about each one of us that you want to ask, take the person's doll. Take the person's doll that's in your bowl and do a little dolly voice. Hi, I'm Heather's doll. Ew, is she going to say unsolved mystery again? It's too much. Please. She's manhandling us dolls. She's carried us from Salt Lake City to here. She's hurting us. Please stop. Take the person's doll that's in your bowl, and that's who you're going to ask. That's who you're going to ask a mystery about this person that you would like answered. Or we could just ask a question. We could just ask, you know what? We might not even need the dolls, Heather. Maybe we just ask. No, I want it to be visually stimulating. Heather is fully direct. No, it's going to be amazing. They're going to do a tight shot of the doll, and then we're going to ask a brain buster to one of the ladies. We could just use our words. You're going to take the little doll. Hey, it's me, Hey, it's me, Angie Q's doll. I'm Greek too. Ooh, don't touch me. Lisa goes, okay. And when he goes, I'll go first. I have Lisa. My doll has Lisa. And Lisa's like, yes. And when he goes, so Monica told me that when I was down at the beach crying, she asked you where I was. And you told her she's probably just off somewhere being dramatic. And Lisa immediately goes, I did say that because, oh, okay. My mystery though, Lisa, is you are very dramatic. You jumped up on the yacht yesterday and went off on Meredith. So my mystery is, why is it okay if you do it, but other people can't? And Lisa, by the way, is smiling this entire time. This is why you got to love Lisa Barlow. She's unapologetically Lisa Barlow. She's like, yes, I did do that. You are so dramatic, girl. Lisa goes, I thought you were being so dramatic, Whitney, and I can be dramatic, and you can be dramatic too. And Whitney's like, was that being dramatic? Lisa's like, yeah, last night was dramatic, which we don't have footage of. And Whitney goes, or was I being emotional? Monica in a confessional goes, when I told Whitney that Lisa had said about her being dramatic, I did not think that it would end in the best drinking game possible. Every time you hear the word dramatic, take a shot. Now, ticker comes on screen. We have a kind of a little bit here that they count the number of times the ladies throw around the word dramatic in this scene. This is like an appetizer. This is like the warm up to the main event. And it is funny because at this point, we do know that all the ladies down by the sea, Heather told them what was going on. So they managed to still have this fight between Whitney and Lisa after even knowing all of this stuff, which is even funnier. And Heather goes, it's dramatic. And when he's like, how is that fucking dramatic? And Lisa's like, it's so fucking dramatic. It's dramatic. The whole thing was dramatic, which once again, we don't have footage. And you know, they don't really have a footage because in a normal Bravo show, they would fucking flash back to this 30 billion times after every word dramatic. When he goes, is that dramatic to mourn my friend? No, but what I observed with my own two eyes was dramatic. Listen, I am dramatic. You can be dramatic too. It's not singular. We can both be dramatic. We are both dramatic. And that's just a good rule of thumb, folks, is that more than one person can be dramatic at a time. Lisa goes, actually, everybody at this table is dramatic. And when he's like, thank you. And Lisa's like, and my baby's going to sleep, her little doll baby. And Meredith goes, oh, wow. Meredith's just completely blissed out right now. Lisa's like, because I'm done being dramatic tonight. And Whitney goes, Meredith, yours better be as dramatic as ours with your doll. The ticker counts to 14 and flashes the word overload, overload. Monica in a confessional goes, but be cautious. You're going to end up wasted on the floor if you play the dramatic drinking game. Now, Meredith, her little doll, Meredith's like, yeah, okay, so, okay, it's time to ask my question. That's okay. So, my question for you, Heather, is we've been friends for several years now, and I'm wondering why I didn't get a lot more support from you on this trip. And Heather goes, is there a conversation? And Mary goes, well, in the cave, when we ate in the cave, you didn't speak up for me at all, at all. And at this point, Meredith could have just been like, and you didn't give me your bathtub. I needed a bathtub. We get a flashback to 2 nights ago at the pirate-themed dinner where Lisa and Angie K were confronting Meredith about the DMs potentially tying Angie K to the Greek mafia and the tax stuff. And Angie K and Heather were just sitting with their head in their hands. And Meredith goes, and I was kind of hurt and disappointed. And Heather goes, Monica was very clear and very convincing. And like, you didn't even really have an issue with it. And Meredith goes, Heather, I have gotten to a point where I have matured. So Meredith on this trip has matured into a grown woman. I love the Meredith. It's happened in the last couple of weeks. I finally have blossomed into womanhood. And she goes, I don't react, Heather, to lies by screaming and yelling. That was 3rd episode, Meredith Marks. That was Palm Springs, Meredith Marks. But I've matured since earlier in the season. And if me being able to answer in a normal tone of voice isn't enough for you to believe me, that hurts me. It would be great if the whole time she was using the doll, like the doll was speaking. That hurts me. That hurts me, Heather. Heather goes, it wasn't just me that believed Monica. We all believed her over you. Heather weaving her case brilliantly, like Joe Pesci. Like, we all think this is what happened, Heather says. And Meredith goes, correct. That's 100% correct. And Heather goes, okay, correct. We all believe that. And you're just going to say, yes, yes, you do. And Meredith goes, yes, you do. Heather just stares at Meredith. Heather goes, why do you think we all believe Monica? Why do we all believe you, Monica? And Monica goes, I don't know. Probably because I had the evidence. I had the proof. I had the DMs. I had the timeline. And I threw myself right into that fire and I owned it. And it added up. Heather, laser-like zoned in on everything Monica's saying, trying to remember everything so she can use it in her dramatic monologue later. And Heather goes, so it has nothing to do with it being the truth. And Monica goes, no, obviously, that's what I just said. The first thing I said was I had the proof. And Heather goes, oh, the proof. Matlock, Heather Gay Matlock. And Monica goes, yeah, the timelines. Yeah. And Lisa goes, I don't think this is getting anywhere. Okay, Heather. And when he goes, your turn, Heather. And Heather's like, Heather doesn't even pick up her fucking doll. It was her idea for these little dollies. And Heather's like, okay, well, no, she does. She goes, I have side-eye Meredith doll. I really don't have that many unsolved mystery burning questions about you, Meredith. I do, however, have a few questions about dun 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 Monica, an unsolved mystery, if you will. And Monica goes, "Oh God." Now we see Monica, in some point, she has now wrapped this like huge black scarf. He looks like Lawrence of Arabia in a black scarf. It's like just all over her face. She's just all bundled in this scarf. Thunder crashes, lightning flashes, and we take another commercial break. We come back from the commercial break, and Heather goes, "Well, the mystery for me with Monica is who is the real Monica? I'm the real." I mean, when I met you, Monica, we kind of bonded over being single moms, moms of daughters. And Monica's like, mm-hmm. And Heather's like, and we had a really great time. Lots of fun, Charming, funny, witty, smarter than probably people think. I love that. She's like, most people think you're a fucking idiot. Not me. And I thought pretty much like an open book, a truth teller. But I don't feel like that's who the real Monica is, the real Slim Shady. The real Monica is someone who really doesn't want to be our friend, but wants to profit from our lives and our pain. The profit thing is the one word that keeps throwing me off a little bit because this account had only 5,000 followers. She wasn't monetizing the account, so I don't know what that meant about profit. Was Monica potentially selling stories? I'm curious about the profit line. I mean, you guys are all profiting off of each other, but everyone is quiet and just looking at Monica, waiting for her to react, but Monica's not reacting. And Heather's like, "I know who you really are. And who you really are is," we get a flashback to 2 hours earlier. Heather, El Solo Lobo, standing on the beach alone, Colonel Mustard dress, and one by one, the other ladies come down to join her. I mean, this is a beautiful scene. Everybody's just dressed to the nine. Whitney is the first one out to walk down in this turquoise number, just like little straps over the private areas. And Whitney's like, "Are you okay?" And Heather's like, "Just give me a minute. Wait until everyone's here. I have something really important I need to tell you." And Lisa walks up and Lisa's like, "I just got your text. What's going on?" And Heather's like, "Hey, thanks for meeting me." "Thanks for meeting me? You literally are 50 feet away in the house. Thanks for meeting." Like, "Oh, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule here to do scenes with us." Lisa's like, "Hey, yeah, what's up? Are you okay?" And Heather's like, "Let's wait for Meredith." And Lisa's like, "Okay." And Meredith comes in a wheelbarrow. They just wheelbarrow her in. She's like, "Hey guys, what's going on? I just got my hair did." And Heather's like, "Hi, thanks for coming." I love the "hi, thanks for coming." "Hey, thanks for joining." And Meredith goes, "What's going on? What's going on, Heather?" And Lisa's like, "I'm nervous." And when he's like, "I know, I'm shaking." "Yeah, me too." And Heather goes, "I know. So am I." Heather is not shaking, just, you know. So am I. There's something I need to tell you guys. "Okay." I love that each one of these ladies potentially is nervous that they're about to get busted out for something that they did. They're like, "Okay, what is it? Did you find out about what I did?" Heather goes, "And it's big and it's not good." And she like kind of flits with her hair. The wind is blowing, guys. And Lisa's like, "What is it? You're going to cry, Heather." And Heather's like, "We've," she starts crying. And Lisa's like, "Heather." And Heather's like, "You guys, we've come a long way, us four. We have. And Monica is not who she says she is." I love this. We've come a long way, us four, because these four have been with this show since the first season. And it's funny because these four have also been really at each other's heels all 4 seasons. Think about it. Lisa never liked Heather. Lisa and Meredith have gone to war with each other scene after scene. Whitney and Heather don't get along. There's so many combinations of just a fucked up relationship from head to toe with each one of these ladies. But now they have bonded together. They are unifying against Monica. And Lisa's like, "Okay." And Heather's like, "She's not our friend." I'm like, "Well, yeah, she's kind of a newer friend, but yeah." And Lisa's like, "Okay." And Heather's like, "She is someone who has schemed and worked to infiltrate our friend group." Infiltrate, what a great word. And Lisa's like, "Okay, what's happening?" And Heather's like, "And the name that you all know her as, the woman whose birthday we celebrated, who we've been trying to champion and support and defend, is Reality Von Tease. And Lisa's like, no. And Mary's like, what? And Lisa's like, no. And Heather in a confessional goes, Reality Von Tease was an Instagram account that was created over 3 years ago. And we see a headline come on the screen. Reality shocker. Reality Von Tease releases damning Jen Shah video. Heather in a confessional goes, it was dedicated to annihilating and exposing Jen Shah. And I'm like, okay, sounds like a pretty good account. But it quickly expanded to troll all of us. Me, Whitney, Meredith, Lisa, the Greek one. These were character assassinations. It shows that the account only has 5,000 followers. They may not have created this content, but they made sure to repost every hateful thing that they could find about us. But we never knew who it was. Also, how did you never know who it was? And if it was so damn fucking important, how did Lisa Barlow not have her team of 80 cybersecurity geek squad people on this? Listen, Lisa Barlow just a couple episodes ago, I have a cybersecurity team. Like, hey, fuck nuts, way to really not do your job if this thing was releasing damning information. But also, the show needed to show some of this damning information. Just on rewatches, it would have been a nice touch because we see the Jen Shah stuff. We see a screenshot of the Reality Von Tease Instagram profile. They have 166 posts and 5,066 followers. Then we see other screenshots. One says, actually, Whitney Rose is a swinger. She uses the bathroom as an opportunity to recruit. Okay, there's one. Next, we see DMs from Jen Shah where she says, bitch, you ain't a fucking actress unless you are auditioned for a Manatee or Shrek. That's obviously towards Heather Gay. And then we also see where Jen Shah is called someone Heather's tranny twin. So it all seems like these are things that Jen Shah said about the other cast members. It's just that this account amplified it. And Lisa's like, you are kidding me. And you guys, this seems like the biggest bomb of these ladies' lives. They are floored. And Meredith, especially, she's like, wait, how did you find out? And Lisa's like, yes, how did you find this out? Heather in a confessional goes, before I even met Monica, I had known about her through our mutual friend, Tanisha. Tanisha has been my hairstylist for over 3 years, and she used to be Monica's closest friend. Monica had a way of handling sensitive information that made me feel so uneasy. We get a flashback to past moments from this season, Greek Easter, where Monica goes, foreclosure, check. Repo, check. Divorce, check. Affair, check. What else do you want? I'll stand in it. I'll stand in it. And Angie K's like, I'm not doing that, Monica. I don't care. No, I would never. And I don't care. So in that scene, Monica was saying all the stuff that she has done. And I will say, Monica does have a way with her tongue. She really, and I thought that was an interesting thing for somebody that we could empathize with and sympathize with, and obviously going through many troubles in her marriage and her mom. But still, when push comes to shove, she'd get right into a fight with Lisa or with Angie K or any of the ladies. Then we flash back to Monica at Beauty Lab with Heather, and Monica's like, I've heard a lot of things, like the marriage one stuck out to Whitney the most because she's had a rough start in her marriage. Then we go to 2 months earlier, Monica at Lisa's crate party, and Monica goes, Sean fucks men. And Lisa's like, no, he does not. And Monica goes, yeah, he has like boyfriends running around the city bragging about their sex, the mean streets of Salt Lake City. And Angie K goes, you are spreading lies, Monica. Heather in a confessional goes, at first, I thought she was oversharing. But looking back on it now, as Inspector Gay, it was something much more sinister. Why do I think this is Heather's second book? And Heather's book might be a book of fiction. She uses information as a weapon. And I was like, oh my God, are they talking about Lisa Rinna? She relishes in the dirty, dark details in the scandal. Once again, sounds like a housewife. Even the dark stuff about her. She was so quick to tell the world because she's so used to exposing everyone else. Even the dark stuff about her, she was so quick to tell the world because she's so used to exposing everyone else. But in the moment, okay, so she just comes out with the truth about even herself. Anyways, but in the moment, I didn't see it. And then right before we left for Bermuda, things started to get really weird. It started when I went to Beauty Lab to get a gift card for Monica and discovered that we had 3 Monicas with 3 different last names with the same birthday. Dun, dun, dun. So I immediately called Dre, who's her partner, and she discovered that one of those Monicas had never paid her bills and owed Beauty Lab a lot of money. We find out later that was $2,100. But then when all of this started to go down with the weird messages and DMs between Meredith and Monica, nothing was making sense. Now, this is great, right? Walking us through everything. The only thing I will say, I feel like we are reverse engineering ways how Heather found out when I think most likely if Tanisha's done Heather's hair for 3 years, Tanisha probably talked about this a long time ago. But also the other weird part of this, and I used to work at a spa that was as big as Beauty Lab and Laser in Los Angeles. And in terms of gift certificates, most gift certificates, you can buy the gift certificate. You do not need to give the person's name to buy a gift certificate, especially if you own the company. You pay for the gift certificate. You don't have to, you can write out the name on it. Maybe it's very different at Beauty Lab and Laser, but that was the spa I worked at. And it was a very, very popular spa. It still is in Los Angeles, many locations, but it was not one of those things that you had to give the client's name. You gave the gift certificate and then they came in. So I think she knew about this as well. And I don't know, the gift certificate stood out to me. So then we get a flashback to 2 nights before at the pirate themed dinner where Monica goes, "You called me one night. You said, 'Did you get a DM from so-and-so account?' I got one. And I literally just got another message from them 40 minutes ago." This is Monica talking to Meredith. And Meredith goes, "Well, it's not me. I didn't do it. It's not me." Heather in a confessional goes, "I don't know who to believe." Once again, I'm telling you, Heather is in the right, but I do think Heather knows exactly who to believe and who not to believe. We get a flashback to one day earlier on the yacht where Meredith goes, "I did not DM her information about Angie, Heather, but here's what's interesting. You know why I called her when I got that DM? Because the DM referenced a bunch of stuff that she had already said to me, and that's why I called her." So this to me is completely believable. Monica was trying to lay the trap. But what was the trap? What was the thing to put Meredith against Angie K, to put suspicion on Meredith? But then again, what is that going to do? So did she just want to make a good storyline to have people turn against Meredith? What was the end goal? That's what I'm so curious about. Heather in a confessional goes, "The timing of these DMs was just odd." We get a flashback to 2 days earlier where Whitney goes, "Did you find it like strange that Monica got a DM 1 hour before dinner about Angie?" And Heather's like, "Yeah, I thought the timing was convenient for sure." Heather in confessional goes, "And the idea that it could be from one of our friends was incomprehensible, yet sadly familiar." And then something that Monica said kept coming back to me. We get a flashback to one day earlier on the beach where Heather goes, "Who do you think? Do you think Meredith sent the DMs? Do you think that it's her fake account? That's what everyone accused her of." And Monica goes, "I didn't think she would ever do that. I really didn't." Heather goes, "I mean, who would ever do that?" And Monica's like, "Well, I don't think any of you guys would ever like fucking do that. Like I would do that shit all day." And Heather goes, "Girl, no, you would not. Don't say things like that." And Monica's like, "I'm just saying." And Heather goes, "You do fake accounts? And you send yourself DMs? Come on, girl." This is where I'm like, Heather totally knew because this is so on the nose. Heather goes, "Knowing how well Tanisha knows Monica, I called her and she had a crisis of conscience and came clean." Where's that phone call? Heather's like, "I want to plead to your conscience right now, Tanisha. Come clean." She told me that there's something I need to know about Monica, that Monica was reality Von Teese, and Tanisha was there for all of it. Within minutes, my phone was flooded with screenshots. I do gotta ask though, why is Heather still working with Tanisha? Like, there seems to be a huge conflict of interest at some point. We see various screenshots of texts and DMs from Monica, text messages, audio recordings, videos, photos, DMs, volumes of evidence, Heather says, exposing Monica. And I was devastated. But I still needed to make sure that this was ironclad, that this was the truth. So I reached out to my friend at Bleep. I sent them everything. And today they called me back. Like, who is the Bleep? Who is it? Like the FBI? Who is it? Who, like H&R Block? Who is the Bleep? Who is going to verify? Like, who do you send a bunch of this shit to? Like, is it a Bravo? Is it Queens of Bravo? Like, who did you send this to verify? Anyways, we get a flashback to, and by the way, I do want to point out, Reality Von Tease was not just run by Monica. It did seem like it was run by a couple of people, two, definitely, and maybe Tanisha was a third. But also, other accounts are run by multiple people. Queens of Bravo is run by multiple people. Like, that does happen. That's not unheard of. We get a flashback to earlier that afternoon when Heather got the phone call, and Heather's like, "Are you kidding me right now? Shut the fuck up. I'm trembling. Like, I'm trembling." The word trembling is very on the nose, too, where I'm like, she's almost making the memes up in her own head. "I cannot believe it's her. I cannot believe it's Monica." She says her name out loud. So Whitney on the beach goes, "That account has annihilated all of us." And Heather's like, "All of us." Lisa's like, "All of us." And Heather goes, "Just pull it up on your phones." And Whitney goes, "Horrible, horrible things." And Heather goes, "Released all the videos about Jen." That was Monica that recorded them, all of those audio recordings and behind the scenes secrets, things that have hurt and affected our lives that we've fought over for 3 years were all posted, curated, and spread by her. The defense rests. And Lisa's like, "Wow, wow." She does a second wow. Lisa Barlow does a second wow. That's how she's like, "Wow, no, wow." And Heather goes, "I want to confront her at dinner tonight. And I want you guys to back me up. I brought little dolls." Yeah, I have a good idea. I brought the little dolls from the churning butter session, and I'm going to use them tonight against Monica. And Lisa's like, "Okay, I have your back." And now here is where Meredith, oh my God, this is the Emmy performance right here. It's like, "I'm really," her voice starts to break. "I'm freaking out. I am so tired of people trying to hurt us. This is so fucked up." It is so dramatic. She has this scarf that is flying in the wind. I want to see if there was a wind machine or this was real wind. Whitney is holding on to all the ladies. They're just holding on. The sisterhood of the traveling Salt Lake City shit show. We cut now back to this dinner in the triangle table with Monica listening. We go to a commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Heather goes, "I know who you really are. And who you really are is the cyber bully internet troll Reality Von Tease. Is the cyber bully internet troll." That's a great t-shirt, cyber bully internet troll. There's a long pause. And Monica's like, "Heather, you ignorant slut." No, Monica goes, "Heather." And Heather goes, "You are Reality Von Tease." She says it again. And Monica goes, "No." And Heather goes, "You are an internet troll." I mean, literally, she could be saying this to anybody at this table. "You are a cyber bully." Have you seen some of Lisa Barlow's clapbacks on Twitter? You have been tweeting and undermining and bullying all of us for 4 years. You are Reality Von Tease, and I have the facts to prove it. And I have texts from your phone number. Oh my God, this would have been great if Heather goes, "And I have your mom." And they bring Linda, LD Millionaire out. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, Monica, I cracked. You are Reality Von Tease, and I have the facts to prove it." And Monica's like, "Wait, what?" And Heather's like, "Yeah, you're saying here, I am Reality Von Tease. I'm applying to be friends with these girls as Reality Von Tease." And Monica's like, "Are you lying? Like, what? Also, that's a weird text. I'm Reality Von Tease. I'm applying to be friends with these girls as Reality Von Tease." Heather goes, "Do you want to see the receipts?" And Monica's like, "Yeah, I want to see your shit right now. Yeah, I would love to see it right now." Now, Monica, obviously, fully guilty, fully trapped, but she is cool as a cucumber, folks. Heather goes, "Oh my gosh, that's how you know I'm telling the truth. I'm yelling." This is when Heather goes really yelling. She's like, "I have your perfect formula, receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, little dollies, fucking everything to prove that you are a fucking bully and a fucking troll, and you do not deserve to be at this table or anywhere near any of us for the way that you've treated us. Every single one of us has woken up in fear for that shit you posted." No one, by the way, is reacting. Meredith seems like she is fully disengaged. She is like in the bathtub of her mind right now. She's just like, bathtub. But Heather is just fully like yelled, piercing, yelling. Also, every single one of us has woken up in fear. What is I actually sleep pretty good. He's like, I sleep well, as I sleep very good as well. But that's wild. Like, what, they wake up in fear? Did any of these nut jobs wake up in fear about any of the shit Jen Shaw did? Like, my God, this is bad. But like, come on, come on. Monica goes, that is bullshit. That was never my fucking account. And Heather goes, you're done. And the music is like Enya mixed with Gregorian chants. It's like, Orinoco flow, sail away, oh, oh, oh. The table goes silent. And Heather goes, you are Reality Von Teese. I know you're Reality Von Teese. Once again, we are going into over repeating the word Reality Von Teese. And Monica goes, that's not true entirely. She admits it. A lot of ellipses in that sentence. And Lisa goes, what do you mean entirely? What does that mean entirely? And Monica's like, well, that means it's part true. And Lisa's like, oh my God, disgusting. And Monica's like, Lisa, it's disgusting. And Heather's like, you think you can sit at our table with our little dolls? You think you can churn butter and bonnets with us and have us celebrate your birthday? Yeah, I think she probably thought she could. You let Jen Shaw fucking party it up around you guys. Like, this is the kind of shit, like, yeah, of course she thought she could do all of this. Whitney gets up and moves her chair. This is how upset Whitney is. She's like, I'm not going to sit next to Monica and I'm going to move chairs. Whitney's like, I can't be by her right now. And Monica goes, you're not even listening to anything I'm saying. And Heather goes, you infiltrated this friend group. You sought out Jen Shaw on social media. And Monica's like, are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding? And Heather's like, and then you worked for her as a blonde named Monica Fowler. Dun, dun, dun. And Monica's like, that is not what happened at all. And Heather's like, and then you got caught on security footage in Meredith's store when the bleep stole the clutch. We bleep out this name again. We have two bleeps. One when Heather was confirming the information earlier, and now when bleep stole the clutch. It's the other guy, right? The other guy that was in the store that we all know, But why are we bleeping that name, but we're leaving other names up? Monica goes, that wasn't me. I didn't fucking steal shit. And Heather goes, that was you. And you were blonde. Natural. You were blonde. And you have a different name. And Monica's like, what are you talking about? And Heather's like, give it up. And Meredith goes, this is when Meredith wakes up. She goes, you were in my store, Monica. It's on my security footage. And she like wakes up. She's now, you can leave. We see the security footage we've seen the security footage before, but now we see it again with new eyes. And we do see that it is obviously Monica with blonde hair or a blonde wig at Meredith Marks Park City jewelry store. And Monica goes, I didn't say I wasn't in your store. I didn't steal from you. And Meredith goes, I'm not accusing you of stealing. But you said this is the first time that I have been in my store. We flash back to Monica visiting Meredith's store 2 months ago and telling Meredith, oh my God, this is so cute. I've never been here. Oh my gosh. And Heather's like, you're a fraud. You're a liar and a fraud. And Monica's like, okay, Heather. And Lisa goes, and you were doing drive-bys Jen Shaw's house. And Monica's like, are you serious right now? And I was like, wait, what? You're doing drive-bys? Like, you're literally, what do you mean drive-bys? Like, you have a gun? What do you, but like, I guess she drove by Jen Shaw's house to like spy on Jen. I don't know. But like, I'm sorry, you guys, that's bad too, obviously. And in the context, horrible when all this information is coming out. But I got to tell you, I've been around these Bravo waters for a while now. And I used to be in Facebook groups where everybody was like going over to Tom and Ariana's house or going over to Jax's house because they found the address online. I mean, I'm sorry, like this, I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy in the context. And when you add everything up, but I mean, all of it, I guess even that's crazy, but I'm just saying this shit happens. I don't know. And Lisa's like, yes, you used to do drive-by with Jen's house. And Monica's like, what? I don't have to do a drive-by when I was with her all the time, you dumb bitch. And Lisa's like, I don't want to fucking hear your fucking mouth again. Don't call me a fucking dumb bitch. And Monica's like, well, listen to it, because you don't gonna tell me to be quiet, you fucking piece of shit. This is great, though. Monica finally like wakes up, and then all her comebacks are like, you fucking beep, 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 bitch, beep, beep. And Lisa's like, you want to call me a dumb fucking bitch? And Monica's like, you want to talk about it? And Lisa's like, you want to call me a fucking dumb bitch? And Monica's like, you are a fucking dumb bitch. And Lisa's like, your ass just got caught running a cyber bully account. And Monica's like, calm down. Also, let's put the dolls away at this point. These little tiny baby dolls. Lisa's like, while you're working for a fucking felon man. You're a fucking dumb bitch. And at this moment, Lisa Barlow gets up and you see in the background the crew, the poor crew, they're all in like just like little like Bermuda shorts. I don't know why I just kept laughing that they're all in like khaki shorts. They're all like running around. I don't know if they're like, oh shit, we're in the shot, or like, oh my God, Lisa's, oh my God, Tony, we got to grab Lisa. But there's like like it's going haywire in the background. And Monica's like, whatever, shut the fuck up. And Lisa's like, Monica, the bottom line is what we do fucking believe right now because you trolled every fucking one of us. And Monica's like, you can believe whatever you want. I did not troll any of you. Yes, you did. And Monica's like, you guys are not listening. Monica in a confessional goes, Von T, and remember, they filmed these confessionals, during the season. Von Teese was never just one person. So the production fully knows at this point because this scene happened, but she has talked about it with production. Von Teese was never just one person. It wasn't just me. I love that Von Teese is a social justice movement. It's all of us. Von Teese, we are all Von Teese. Monica goes, there were several other humans involved. But bottom line is, our mission was to take down Jen. The other women were just collateral damage. Once again, not defending Monica, but is there a world in which they were posting everything that Jen said, did, and Jen talked a lot of shit about her castmates, and that was the collateral damage? I really do. And by the way, I could be completely wrong. There could be tons of shit that this account posted about each one of these ladies if they were waking up in fear over this account. I just don't remember this account being a big deal except for the Jen Shaw stuff, the video. But even then, I wasn't like, who's this account? I was like, oh my God, Jen's a horrible person. Monica goes, I have never talked shit about you. None of that shit. None of that shit. None of that shit. And Angie K wakes up and goes, shit. And she does this weird face like, and Monica goes, Angie, watch your fucking self. And Angie's like, I'm Greek. Don't do that. And Monica's like, watch yourself. And Angie K is like, bitch, watch your fucking self. I'm fucking Greek mafia. And Monica's like, watch yourself. And Angie K's like, you've done so much dirty shit. And Monica's like, watch yourself. How many times are we going to, yeah, she's watching herself. And Angie K's like, no one has called you out. And Monica's like, no, I'm not even kidding. And Angie K goes, you called everyone out. And Monica goes, Angie, let's talk about your involvement. Dun, dun, dun. And Angie K goes, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. And Monica's like, let's talk about your involvement. And Angie's like, I'm not involved. And Monica goes, you want to talk about how you're involved? And Angie's like, what are you talking about? And Monica's like, you want to talk about how you're involved with Reality Von Teese? Let's go there then. And Angie K's like, I have nothing to hide. And Monica's like, if you want to fucking talk to me, I'll fucking out your ass. So shut the fuck up. And Angie K's like, how was I involved? Am I going to get disinvited to this trip? And she goes, what? Laughing at your stories? And we see screenshots of Angie K replying to Reality Von Teese on Instagram, mostly with emojis or saying LOL. So obviously that was probably the extent of it. But like I said, all of these women probably were genuinely laughing about all the shit that was being posted about Jen Shaw and the others. Monica in a confessional goes, these women are ridiculous. Oh my God, I'm so shocked. Reality Von Teese. Oh, this is awful. Bitch, don't act like every single one of you wasn't constantly watching and DMing that page like you were our biggest fans. And I think that's an interesting little twist and an interesting piece of dialogue. And actually, it speaks to the larger nature of Housewives and what it's become. Is that it is a blood sport in a lot of ways. It is a game of survivor. These women are against each other. It is a sisterhood, but it's one of the messed up sisterhoods that we have. Monica in the scene goes, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And Angie K's like, don't fucking talk about me. I didn't do shit on that page. And Monica's like, go pay the IRS. Go fucking pay your IRS. And Angie K's like, bitch, I'm rich. My shit is current. Do you see how big these sunglasses are? Angie K picks up a flower arrangement off the table, I shit you not, and holds it like she's going to throw it. And Monica's like, go ahead, throw it. Throw it, you classless little whore. And Angie K's like, I'll fucking shove it down your fucking throat. This is insane. Monica goes, go ahead and throw it. That's hilarious. And when he's like, it's not hilarious. Either was that back to butthole thing that Heather took out of her book. And Monica's like, no, it is, because I've been completely honest with you. And when he's like, you're not being honest because you ran the troll account that attacked me for years. And Monica's like, I didn't do that, Whitney. I don't know what to tell you. When he's like, so if you play a part in it and you're part of the account, you know what it has said about me, about my family. And Monica's like, it wasn't even my account. That was fucking Tanisha's account. Now, this is the first time Monica throws Tanisha under the bus. And when he's like, then why are you okay with your best friend doing that account and then sitting here with us? That's so fucked up. Whitney, even in a tiny voice, makes one of the best points of the episode. And one of the best points of why this is fucked up, no matter who ran the account, because if Monica was aware of Tanisha's account and then still let it go down and tried to be friends with Whitney, I mean, that is betrayal. That is gross. And all, it's like the fucking, oh God. It's just the glee that some people get in teaming. It's gross. And Monica goes, "That's a great point." And Monica's like, "I did not, sorry. Uh, No, sorry. Angie K says, "That's a great point." And Monica's like, "I did not start the count. It was Tanisha." And Meredith goes, "What did you do with that account? Why don't you tell us?" And Heather's like, "Tell us what you did on Reality Von Tease. It's a fair question since it's a bullied all of us for 4 years." I love it, Mom. Well, I did some clerical work on it. I answered DMs and I sent out mailers. And when he goes, "You just said that you partially ran the account, Monica." And Heather's like, "Tell us what you did since you're a truth seeker, honesty." And Monica's like, "I didn't do shit." And Whitney's like, "Monica." And Lisa's like, "What did you do with that account?" And Heather's like, "You need to own it right now." Heather now fully Lisa Rinna power. By the power of Lisa Rinna, you need to own it right now. And Monica's like, "Okay." We come back from commercial break. A lot of water, a lot of waves, a lot of thunder. And Monica's like, "Some of the videos that I took of Jen that my beep told me to record of her, they were posted on there." So once again, we got that guy's name bleeped out. And Lisa's like, "What, are you going to video all of us and post it online when you're pissed at us? Fuck that." And that's a great point as well. That's a great point as well. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. Like, yeah, like if you're on this cast, we're doing a lot of stuff when cameras are down. You're going to post that shit too when we piss you off? That's where it is a liability for these women. It does, that does really speak to the nature of this. And Monica's like, "What are you talking about?" And Lisa's like, "Fuck that." And Monica goes, "You are so stupid." And Lisa's like, "You are such a fucking loser." And and Monica's like, "You're always so stupid." And Lisa's like, "Fucking loser." So it's like a sandbox fight with dirty language. And Monica's like, "No, fuck you, you dumb old fucking piece of shit, leather, rubbery bitch, Donald Trump hands. Shut the fuck up." No, fuck you. Okay, let's break this down Shakespearean. Let's do the iambic pentameter. No, fuck you, you dumb fucking old fucking piece of shit, leather, rubbery bitch, Donald Trump hands. Shut the fuck up. It rolls off the tongue. Donald Trump hands. What? So are we about to get a Lisa Barlow? "I was on a plane with Snoop Dogg and Donald Trump." Lisa goes, "I don't want someone around me that's going to video and post it on fucking line." And Monica goes, "Well, don't abuse your employees then, bitch, and you'll be just fine. Don't abuse your employees like your best friend Jen, and you'll be fine." So she's now making a case of, listen, Jen was fucking horrible to all of us. And that's why we did it. And when he's like, "That means you have lied to me and used me." And Monica's like, "I didn't fucking lie to you," which is more than any of you have ever fucking done about all your little dark ass secrets. Now that was like kind of, ooh, that was kind of interesting. Like, look at all you guys scramble with all your shit. I mean, we all have those dirty, dark ass secrets, right? Everybody. And she potentially knows all of them. When he goes, "There's no dark ass little secrets. Clearly, you're the one with the secret. You've been running an account that has bullied us for years." And Monica's like, "I didn't do shit. Tanisha started the fucking account. Beep, ran the fucking account." So this is that guy. And I wonder why we keep beeping his name out. Are we going to like do some kind of legal action? Or was he threatening legal action if his name was used? It was all these people, Monica says. So you can go ahead and bring it on me all you want. I didn't say shit about anyone else other than Jen 100%. And I will own that to the grave because that little whore is one of the worst humans I've ever met in my life. Monica in a confessional goes, "I don't think Reality Von Tease was a bad thing. I think that scamming elderly people out of millions of dollars is a bad thing. But I think having a fucking burner page on an Instagram account to expose someone and their abuse is not a bad thing. I think that's just telling the truth." Okay, point taken. But you better have all of your fucking facts straight. Anybody that gives you information, you better make sure there is nothing on them. There is no ulterior motive. And people that can look pretty sane when you start digging can have a lot of bullshit. And I just think you need to have your facts straight if you are this arbiter of truth, justice in the American way. Whitney in the scene goes, "You fucking have been lying to my face." And Monica's like, "I have not been lying to your face." "Yes, you have." And Maritza goes, Monica, for 3 months you have sat here with us and not told us the truth. And Lisa's like, "Do you understand? It's about deception. You fucking deceived all of us." There's got to be some point in this that these ladies sat there and go, "Listen, this is very dramatic, but also, god damn, we got a good season finale here." Monica goes, "No, I didn't deceive shit. She asked me and I said it." And Lisa's like, "Guess what? Guess what? I want you to get the fuck out. I don't feel safe staying in this house with you." And Monica's like, "Okay, then leave. You can leave. I'm going to go check into an Airbnb in Bermuda." And Lisa's like, "No, you get the fuck out of here." And Heather goes, "I don't think you understand something about this group. We are thick as thieves." Heather stands up and everyone stops to listen. Now, this is what I'm going to be auditioning for when I audition for Juilliard later this year. Heather stands up. Everyone listens. "Listen to me. There's something that you missed out on. We are friends, and we have been through this bullshit before with Jen. For years, we were afraid we'd wake up sick, that a lie would be posted and told and spread and exposed and exploited. But we were in it with her. And we are the type of girls that ride or die. And each one of us, at different times, rode hard. And we were put away wet, rode hard. And we shut down feelings of doubt and things that didn't fucking add up. Who you are made no sense, but the way you acted was strangely familiar. And the pain that we went through, and the way that we were tormented and tortured, I ate shit every day for her. I felt like I had to lie to protect her. I did whatever it took. I went on a book tour. I did that for Jen Shaw. You think I wanted to write a book? No, I went on a book tour. Which, by the way, this is the first time I've heard of Heather's book, so congratulations on that. And she goes, and defended her and took shit for the fact that she gave me a black eye. Mic drop. Meredith goes, "What?" And Lisa's like, "Whoa." And once again, when Meredith says something twice in a row, she means it. She says, "Whoa," a second time. Whoa, Blossom. It's me, Joe. Whoa. We get a flashback to last season when Heather reveals her black eye to Meredith. Meredith comes into the room with Jen and Heather, and Meredith's like, "What's wrong?" And Heather reveals her eye, and Meredith's like, "When did this happen?" And Jen immediately is like, "We don't know. We don't know." I said, "We have to get Meredith." And Meredith's like, "You don't know how this happened?" And Heather goes, "I don't know how this happened. I don't recall." But we all knew in that moment. How fucking weird was that scene? So now I want to just vote that monologue. What a monologue. And it was like, wow, very damning. But at the same time, you busted yourself out at the end. This had nothing to do with Monica. I mean, was she almost putting it out here after throwing Monica under the bus because Monica probably knew this information and would have eventually got to this? Maybe it was going to soften the blow of Heather lying to so many people over this period of time. She lied to everyone. She lied to Andy. She lied to her castmates. Everyone about this black eye. And also this monologue, I think it was supposed to be inspirational in some way, but it was like, it just showed how wrapped around Jen Shaw's finger this entire cast was. Like, and each one of us at different times rode hard and we shut down the feelings of doubt and things that didn't fucking add up. Yes, you shut that down with Jen. And I love that, like, there's something you missed out on. We are friends. And I'm like, oh God, once again. And we have been through this bullshit before with Jen. But it's a lot of Jen, but you guys never stood up for yourselves with Jen. And you talk about eating so much. It was very interesting. And I'm so curious the details around this story. And there is part of me, like I said, Heather does know the game. Heather knows this game better than any of the cast members on Salt Lake City. And I feel like she is softening the blow for herself by almost pairing this with the Monica stuff. And the castmates really are shocked. And Monica goes, "Well, I'm glad you finally told the truth for once. So good for you." Burn. Heather goes, "Well, I had to ride hard for her. And I had to lie for her. We're not going to do it again with you. Pack your bags and go." Okay, calm down, Jeff Probst. You can't vote her off the island. But I love I love it would have been love if the crew was like, Heather, you actually don't have the authority to do that. She's got to stay here. We're actually in Bermuda. There's a storm right now. Have you heard the thunder that we've been playing all night long? But I had to ride hard for her and I had to lie for her. Why, Heather? That's the big thing. This Monica mystery may be solved or parts of it, but my big overarching mystery that still is not solved, why did you have to ride hard for her? Why did you have to lie for her? You were only friends with her for a couple of years. And Monica's like, okay, and then gets up and walks away. And there's like a beautiful overhead shot of Monica walking out of this dinner. Monica in the confessional goes, I, more than anyone, know that nothing stays in the dark and everything comes to light. I knew that this information would come out. Even Gossip Girl couldn't stay Gossip Girl forever. XOXO, Monica, peace out. Monica walks past the crew. Whitney hugs Heather. There's a long shot again of Monica walking. And we see the women sitting around the table looking somber and silent. We see the end of the season chyrons come up. This is the season finale where all the dun, 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 what are we doing with our lives? We have a picture of Heather with her daughters come up, and it says, Heather has been relishing her time with all three daughters, enjoying conversations about life, love, but definitely not sex, and practicing her boudoir photography from back to butthole. We see a shot of Heather crying in Whitney's arms. Whitney's Chiron comes up and it says, Whitney continues to navigate the bumpy road of marriage, work, and family with Bobby as her chauffeur. And we see Whitney riding with Bobby, who's hightailing it in her state-of-the-art golf cart. Did look like she was going really fast. And then we go to Lisa Barlow and it says, after sending Jack to the Mission Training Center, Lisa has kept herself busy with her new favorite hobby, Henry, the other son. And we see Henry kind of angrily sipping a soda. And then we go to Angie K, and it says, Angie and Sean have recommitted to working on their marriage, starting with more date nights and alone time. Electra now sleeps in her own bed, ... most of the time. And we have Angie in this kind of white lingerie get up with Sean in his little baseball hat. It was really weird. It was very weird. And then we go to Meredith, and it goes, after a rough winter with her friends and 4 unbearable days without a bathtub, Meredith went home and immediately upgraded to a jacuzzi ... in her rental, which is like a total editor troll. And we see Seth in the jacuzzi with Meredith. He's drinking out of a flask. Hey, it's me, Seth. What's going on? I was not in the finale at all. It's crazy. Come on, I'm in Canton, Ohio, doing my business. You guys were being sexy in. Oh, what's going on? Did they say anything about me in Reality Von Teese? Somebody said my Seth is turning into John Travolta, and I got to tell you, it really is. Like, hey, it's me, John Travolta. Like, look who's talking. Like the baby's a wab babalooba. Sandy, what? Sandy, Mr. Collar. Sorry. Now, a producer in a confessional asked Monica, so take me back to the final dinner when the women asked you to leave. Monica in a confessional goes, there is so much more I wanted to say, but I knew I wasn't going to be heard at all. There are a lot of things that I could have said. That was not the time. But there is so much more to the story that needs to be said. And trust me, you're all going to want to hear it. Oh, snap, folks. And then Monica's Chiron comes up. Since arriving home, Monica has not spoken with the other women nor her mother. With her divorce finalized, she is focused on raising her daughters and has no plans to return to Bermuda. And then we get the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion trailer next week on a 3-part Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. And Andy goes, since Bermuda, you haven't seen each other? And all the women are like, no, we haven't seen each other. Monica has a burn book, and that was kind of lame. I just imagine some poor person at like a FedEx Kinko's putting this together, like arts and crafts time. And they're like, you're doing this for what? A reunion? Andy asked Monica, can you own that you hurt all of them? And then we have a scene of Lisa going, why are you driving by Jen Shah's house? And Monica's like, oh, you fucking blah, blah, blah. And then Andy asking Heather, Jen gave you the black eye. Tell us how it happened. And Whitney's like, oh my God, I don't know, man. I will say Heather, Monica obviously is lying, but Heather lies pretty easily too. So I'm really curious. I think Jen definitely gave her the black eye. I'm just curious what the story is going to be because she's had a year to work on it. And then we have a scene of Meredith doing a Whitney imitation, which she did earlier in the season, which was pretty damn good. And then Mary Cosby, they wheel her out and Mary does a little bit of a Whitney imitation too. I will say how amazing. Thank God they did not have Mary Cosby in Bermuda. And this is another reason why I thought production knew, because they're like, how are we going to explain explain? How are we going to have Mary Cosby there? And it would be too much to explain to Mary Cosby. She's going to slow down the action. I think that's part of the reason why Mary Cosby wasn't invited to Bermuda. I'm shocked she even showed up at the reunion. But my God, you guys, that was this episode. Thank you to Laura Beth Harp for these notes. And don't worry, or maybe you should worry, because we are not done yet. We've got a lot of little knickknacks and some audio to play with you. Are you guys hanging in? Are you with me? We're going to do a couple of more Salt Lake City information that has come out since this finale. So I'm going to take a little break to rest my voice and come back, and we will finish strong. Okay, there is so much little odds and ends and information. Now, I was sent this on the old Twitter earlier today. Let me find this. And I was debating playing it, but it looks like now other accounts are posting it. So I will post it. It's from a Twitter account at BBJAYZABCD. And this is the clip. It is a screen recording. It looks like a recording from a phone of Monica and her mom having an argument. And you can actually see, if you're watching this on Instagram or on YouTube, you can see Monica, you can see her mom in this. It looks like Monica is recording it potentially, but it's an argument, obviously, that took place over Greek Easter. Now, this, let's just play this. This is like a 4-minute clip, though, so buckle in, folks.
The only thing that you did was unite those 4 assholes. That's the only thing that you did. How can you forget that your job is to get on air time, to get into as many scenes as possible? You gotta play nice. I know you don't like her. I know you got beef with her, but you're an actress. You gotta pretend like all is right in the world. It's a job. It's a show. It's a reality show that you worked hard to get on.
You left me completely in the fucking water with these bitches. You took Angie's side. I was not a disaster. I was not an embarrassment.
You were in someone's home yelling and dropping F.
So was everyone else. Go yell at them. Go yell at Heather. Go yell at Lisa.
No one else was
Yes,
dropping F.
they were. You should have been listening harder then, I guess. You should have been listening harder. She started it.
This is a job.
Don't come over here and start this shit with me.
Don't make it personal.
You don't understand? Go talk to Lori because you're a fucking mess. And you fucked it up yesterday. She's the head person. You should know who she is.
Okay.
You are insane. You looked like a crazy person. Just so you know.
Don't do that.
I took the day off.
Super
I
classy.
took the day off from
I fell down the fucking stairs. And all you could...
That's on you. Wow. Nobody pushed you down the stairs. I took...
Wow! Get out of my house!
Get
the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out of my house! I fell down the stairs and you're like, that's on you? That's on
right.
you? You're
That's on
disgusting.
you.
You're disgusting.
That's on you.
You are disgusting.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Thank you for coming over with this toxic shit. Thank you.
Fucking balls.
Take the fucking balls. You are so gross. Your kid falls down the stairs and you say that's on me? You are so gross.
You should not.
You are so gross.
You shouldn't have run away.
Run away? I was leaving. You were in my
You
face.
shouldn't have run away.
Being disgusting in front of all those
being
people.
disgusting.
I was being disgusting.
You were
Angie
being
started that
disgusting.
shit. Angie started it.
You put a kibosh on.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're
You
doing.
don't know what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
You don't know
Okay,
what you're doing.
bye. You came over
And you abandoned me.
I abandoned you?
I
abandoned you.
I took the day
Are
off
you
from
fucking
work
serious right
on
now?
the last day of the month.
Are you fucking
To do this for
serious
you.
right now?
I had to drive home in a shit box.
A shit box? You should be grateful they paid for your ride. How about thank you for giving me a free ride home?
Well, thank you. I took the day off from work to do that.
I did
for you.
say that. And then you
no, you
fucking...
didn't.
Yes, I did. Mom,
you didn't.
stop. The fact that you are the
Day of
victim
the
right
month.
now...
I'm not saying I'm the victim.
You are acting like the victim.
Well, you're
You
yelling.
said...
Don't
You
yell at
said,
me.
I'm in my
Take it
house.
down.
I'm in my house.
Take it down.
You don't want to be yelled at? Then
Take it
leave.
down.
I don't have to.
vision.
You have
You lost sight of the job.
Oh my God.
You lost sight. You got out of control.
And that's why Lori said my shit was the best of everyone that night, and everyone else dropped the fucking ball.
You were the hottest mess. That makes you the best.
Yeah.
That's what you
get
want.
the assignment.
That's what you
get
want
the
to put
assignment.
Out.
You were disgusting. You looked like an awful mother. You didn't even fucking care I fell down the stairs.
No,
all you wanted.
I didn't.
Wow. Okay, get out. Get out. Dead ass. Get out of my house. Nana is waiting. She's very upset. Thanks.
And your boobs hanging out were disgusting.
Okay.
Oh my God. Her boob was hanging out, her mom said. Okay, so listen, I don't know how that video was leaked. Obviously, Monica took that video. Hell, maybe Monica even leaked that to try to get some sympathy. What we can determine from that, and what we determined all season, that Monica and her mom are very toxic with each other. I think that is very real. I'm so curious. I had your Bish therapist on, Melissa, last week, and I would love to know what she thinks about all of this. Oh my goodness. It really makes you feel sad for everybody involved. But that obviously was after Greek Easter, where she fell down. We didn't get to see this. She had to go to the hospital. And then remember, Monica's mom stayed and was friendly with everybody. I loved Monica's mom. I took a day off work. Girl, you got to be on TV. Also, them talking openly, like I think a lot of housewives do, about understanding the assignment. You're there to film. You're there, talking about that openly. I find it very fascinating. Is you're losing sight of the prize. You're losing sight of what's important. And I thought, man, this is a wild relationship. This is paper moon. This is wild. What kind of scams are these ladies running together potentially? Now, LD Millionaire is Monica's mom's Twitter handle. Let's go to see what Monica's mom has tweeted recently. 7 hours ago, she replied to somebody saying, "Is Heather still her client?" Talking about Tanisha. That's the real question. If she is, then Heather knew from the beginning it was a setup. And Linda, Monica's mom, wrote, "Yep, 100%. Tanisha was a double agent, two-faced friend. I never trusted her. She could never look me in the eye. Don't trust anyone who doesn't look you in the eye." And so that is what Linda said. One of the only tweets she had about this topic. So who knows if Linda knew about the Reality Von T's account, but I imagine she would. But then the question goes about Tanisha's involvement. Now, Heather Gay's hairdresser, Tanisha, I do think Heather is known for quite a long time. I do think Tanisha obviously told Heather. I don't think it is in the timeline that is being told to us, but Monica's word does not mean anything. It's dirt right now, so we can't really trust anything that she says, which goes back to another question that we were going to talk about earlier. Did Monica steal Lisa Barlow's ring? Lisa Barlow allegedly lost a $60,000 ring in Palm Springs, right? And I don't think Monica did. And I know that it's crazy. She probably did. She's this, she's that. I don't think she did. But like I said, Monica's word means nothing. So listen, she's going to have to defend herself on that. I don't even know how you did, but I don't think she did that. I think that would be so, I don't know, you guys. It's one of those things that I think they would be able to actually pin that down as well. And if she did do that, she would have bragged to one of her, goofy friends she was running the account with, and that would have come out as well. Who knows? Maybe that will come out, but it is something that I have thought about, obviously. Now, we talked on yesterday's show, but if you didn't listen to yesterday's show, let's talk about it again, is that Jen Shaw, prisoner 490138, got involved last night because she wants a little bit of this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City shine, because this season knocked us off on our coal mining asses. Jen Shaw wrote this in an Instagram story. Quote, "Bravo." If I quote means she gave this information to somebody and they posted for her because she can't post in prison. "Bravo. If I punched Heather in her eye, you guys would have footage to prove it. It's clear the show can't live without me since I was brought up at the beginning, middle, and end of season 4. Andy is still butthurt that I turned down his one-on-one interview. Why would you sit down with someone who gave another cast member a black eye?" Next story. Oh, give me this Instagram story is so full of holes. It's bigger bullshit than Jen Shaw was trying to peddle with all the shit she stole from elderly people. What are you even talking? Like, this is embarrassing, and it shows us how little Jen Shaw has changed in the little time that she has been in prison. She's got a little more time to go, I think like 6 years. So hopefully the change is coming soon, but she is still the same person. At this time, Jen, the truth will set you free. And I love that Heather, you're just Heather, by the way, Heather Gay, if you're listening, this is the kind of friend Jen Shaw is. You finally come out with the truth and she calls you a liar. She blatantly calls you a liar. Now, she even calls Andy Cohen out. And I just think that is so stupid and so short-sighted at the end of the day, because there would be a world, I wouldn't want it, but there would be a world in which you would be able to come back to the show. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not when you call the big man out. The only person that you're going to be dealing with at this point is potentially Bethany Frankel. The old Frankelnator is like, hey, you said something about Andy being butthurt. Could I visit you in prison for a sit-down interview? Reality Reckoning, Raquel Part 2. Anyways, Andy Cohen has his Sirius XM Radio Andy, and he talked today on a clip to John Hill, his co-anchor on this show. This is what he has to say about this. And remember, he talks in the beginning, Andy was just scammed on his credit card and he lost close to $100,000 that he's trying to get back. I don't know if that's the exact dollar amount, but I think Jeff Lewis said it was in that ballpark. So he just got scammed himself. So I'm sure he does not take too kindly to scammers right now, even the ones that he's worked with on shows before. But this is what he said in regards to Jen Shaw's Instagram story from yesterday.
Victim of fraud, which
was it?
As someone who was just the victim of an online and phone scam where I lost a lot of money, this message comes at an interesting time. So let me just say that. I just need to predicate that I'm a current victim of fraud, which is what she is in jail for. I'm not connecting her to what I'm not saying that she's responsible for it, but I'm just saying it's ironic.
Hateful thing she was involved in.
Yeah. Yes. So I just have to point that out. Let me point out, I don't want to be Captain Obvious here, but if we had footage, don't you think we would have aired it? Do you think we wouldn't have said, Heather saying, I don't know how I got the black eye. And then don't you think we would have cut to the footage and with a chyron that said 4 hours earlier, pop.
Yeah. Graphic content warning.
That's first of all, that's quite obvious. Second of all, I had forgotten about the one-on-one with Jen. She is right. I did want to do a one-on-one with her.
Naturally.
I don't care about it anymore. I'm over it. Her stipulations were insane. She wanted in exchange for this, I'm trying to remember the specifics. I know she wanted us to do a docuseries of her days leading up to jail. She wanted a lot of money, and she was still professing her innocence. So it would have been another interview of her sitting across from me, lying to my face, which we got at 2 reunions from her. So that's that. That's my response to that.
Okay, I think that says it all, right? That says it all. And Andy admitting, yeah, we have 2 reunions of Jen Shaw lying to my face. Why did I need another instance of that same thing happening? And Jen Shaw is still following in those same patterns of just continuing the lies. And at some point, doesn't she wake up and realize, girl, Monica's name is dirt, but yours is even dirtier, man. Yours is even dirtier. Why are you you're not learning anything from any of these experiences? I will say, though, in regards to Bravo and Monica, and how we started this episode was talking about Monica potentially coming back. And a lot of people are dead set against it. But I do want to put out there, though, since the season wrapped filming, not airing, but filming, Andy knew, production knew, they knew how this season ended. They still had Monica on Watch What Happens Live. They welcomed her at BravoCon. Andy has stood up for Monica multiple times on Watch What Happens Live and celebrated her, talked very highly of Monica. And I think there is this delicate dance that you have to do in production and when you're the head of something of welcoming everybody. Listen, you can make mistakes here. It's okay. That's what this is about. All of these ladies make mistakes. I wondered what kind of sunshine they might have been blowing up her ass, or if they literally were like, this is the best season ever. We celebrate this. I am very curious how this all shakes out with Monica, but they knew. Remember, Monica was on Watch What Happens Live. And I wonder how the other ladies of Salt Lake felt about that, knowing what they all know now. Isn't that, I don't know, that to me was something I was thinking about. I was just like, yeah, she was promoted right and left. Like, even when Jeff Lewis did the Bravo Ask Andy panel on the first day of BravoCon, Jeff Lewis was bad-mouthing Monica. Jeff Lewis hates Monica, thinks she's poor, all this stuff. And Andy was defending her. Oh my God, you guys, I'm never going to be able to get out of this episode because Monica Garcia has now talked about, oh my gosh, she updated about the video that I just played you the audio from. And she wrote, I full-heartedly believe in karma. You are all just watching me live mine, and I'll deal with it. I'll face it. I deserve it. If you don't see what's happening here, I don't know what else to say. But screenshots released by my best friend, videos, everything happened to me exactly like what was done on Reality Von Tease. So she's saying this is Tanisha. I do want to apologize to my mother. I shared this video with my best friend. It was not meant to get out. I did not leak this. So she's trying to point the finger at Tanisha, saying Tanisha leaked this. And she also has screenshots of sending this video to Tanisha. Monica also writes, there has now been a leaked private video filmed in my home between my mother and I. I sent the video to my best friend in confidence. We talked several times a day, spent every Sunday family dinner together, holidays, our children were best friends. I never once thought she would do this to me, but here we are. She has been outing my secrets. She continues to release screenshots, recording videos, a folder she has dedicated to me full of things she plans to release. She is already doing interviews and has been contacting people in my life for months to try to destroy me. This is a full-blown takedown by one of my own closest friends that my girls and I considered family. Brace for impact because she has 3-year friendship of information she has just been waiting to put out there on me. Listen, for every action, there is a reaction. For every takedown that you're a part of, you're eventually going to get taken down yourself. And listen, she could be pointing the finger at Tanisha, or like I said, when you don't trust somebody, this could be Monica trying to throw Tanisha under the bus when this is her all along. I don't know. She is providing receipts, but Tanisha is providing a lot of receipts. But some of these receipts, though, it does look like Tanisha was very aware, egging this on in certain ways. I would be interested in talking to Tanisha. I'm sure you'll hear her on some other podcasts. I have not reached out to her yet, because I didn't really know where I stood on this. And I do think this is a takedown. I do think you do have 3 years of screenshot text messages. And it sucks, but Monica admits this is karma. This is karma that she is dealing with right now. But man, oh man, this just gets darker and darker. Now, speaking of Tanisha, though, I wanted to play you what she released last night. I screen recorded her Instagram stories. This is what she had on her Instagram stories yesterday after this episode aired.
A lot. Okay. How I will start this off is by saying our reputations in this city precede us.
The mean streets of Salt Lake.
If you've known me, if you've worked with me, if you've been around me, you know my character. If you know Monica, if you've experienced Monica, if you've seen what she's capable of, it's wild. I definitely have a lot to say. I definitely have a lot of evidence to show that she is lying, completely lying. I just want to make sure I say it with from a level-headed place.
Okay, so now she starts posting screenshots in addition to her talking, and it's screenshots of Monica, her, and another person. It says Koa, I believe. And Monica is like, haha, not Volunteers Weekly, obviously making fun of a housewife. And Tanisha writes, girl, no Jen stuff, please. And Monica goes, girl, leave the chat then, LOL. And then Tanisha says, if I had the option, I would have left a long time ago. Just send it to Koa. I would rather hear updates about my friend's life than Jen. So at this point, she's saying, I don't want to be involved in this in a nice way. I believe that's what we're seeing. But is this also at the time where, I don't know, you guys, this is fully conspiratorial, but had she already ratted out Monica to Heather and at this point was just letting Monica continue to hang herself again and again?
Okay. I was fully aware of that page, fully around for all of it. At that time in my life, I just really thought I was supporting my friends and doing the right thing by supporting them.
So at that time in my life, this was December 29th, 2021. So 2 years ago.
Because they had gone through traumatic experiences with someone else. And so this is what they wanted to do. And I was like, I don't have no beef with this girl, but hey, I mean, if this is how you guys feel like I can best support you and your trauma, then me being who I was and loyal to a fault, obviously, supported them and thought that this was how I could support them. As my career started taking off, I fell more and more back from that group of people, Monica, and stopped wanting to hear about it. And it's just what it is. And then that screenshot that was shown, like, we're on holiday, give us Heather's address. Her and Koa would literally go and sit in Jen's freaking neighborhood for hours. We would always be like, girl, what's the freaking point? Like, go home. And she would always try to figure out all the ladies' addresses and stuff. But I'm like, Heather's my new client. I'm not going to tell you her address. Like, what? I know what you're capable of. And now you're doing it to me in real time. Like, literally got a boyfriend in my neighborhood, 17 seconds from my house. I timed it. Like, I literally had to file a police report because a girl likes to go to people's neighborhoods. And because I knew what she was capable of, I freaking filed a police report. Like, this girl knows no bounds. Like, she knows no bounds. She knows no bounds.
And then we start seeing some screenshots of Jen Shah's house. And then we have a video of Monica.
By Jen's house. No key? I might have found my father's actual descent.
Okay, so that was Tanisha's stories last night. And Tanisha, I will say, seems really level-headed. Seems like she is telling her version of things. Listen, if anybody is listening to this that is interviewing Tanisha, this is what you got to ask. You got to ask, how and when did the relationship with Monica end? When was the last text message with her? When was it? When was it exactly? And what have the text messages been since this aired, since before it aired, since this year at all? And then you got to ask all about the Heather relationship. Obviously, when this all started, when you revealed your information to Heather, and Heather says Tanisha is Monica's best friend. So that implies during filming, right? It wasn't like, oh, was her best friend and then they don't hang out anymore. And I will tell you, listen, I've had a best friend that has really fucked around. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It is wild, 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 wild. So Tanisha, I kind of believe she has a very level-headedness about her. And I think Tanisha has more and more receipts. Let me see what else I screenshotted. I think there's a couple of other things in here. Okay, here's another one. She wrote, I started the page. There's so much to unpack. And it's a text thread of Monica and Koa and Tanisha. Monica says, Keeks, oh my God, I am so sorry. I feel so bad. I am also Totally get where you are coming from and how you feel. I tossed and turned all night too. Koa says, we can't live like this. I refuse to constantly be treated like this. And Monica goes, were you up all night because you don't want to release them yet? And Koa's like, I was up all night because I was upset and sad how things are going. I want to release them today without a shadow of a doubt. And Monica says, I'm so sorry. I find myself thinking the same exact thing often. It was also unbelievable that it was really hard to truly process everything. And Koa goes, no matter what, we're doing this today. And Tanisha writes, fuck her for everything she's done to you. So obviously, this was in regards to Jen Shah. And this is her being a good friend of like, listen, fuck her. You know, when you hear somebody abuse your friend, fuck them. Meredith Marks, once again, her tweet from last night. I found out about the security footage with Monica at Meredith Marks Park City shortly before the trip. Perhaps now you understand why I was staying calm and quiet, trying to piece things together, the puzzle, as accusations were flying. I like Meredith's new Zen Wen Meredith that she has come to in the midst of this season, that she does not overreact anymore. Okay, so we got the Jen Shah, we got the Andy Cohen, we've got these screenshots. Also, Lisa Barlow wrote in an Instagram comment yesterday before the episode, and you can't be a gossip girl when all you do is spread lies. And Monica wrote to Lisa Barlow, yikes, how embarrassing for you. Let me help you out. Next time, maybe Google some definitions so you don't look so dumb. Gossip, quote, casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true, end quote. Another quote, he became the subject of much local gossip, end quote. XOXO gossip girl, hashtag stay pressed and stressed, baby gorgeous. I will say, I think Monica potentially took it too far when she did a photo spread with Reality Von Tease exposed and made fake New York Times headlines. She made fake New York Times headlines with headlines, Monica Garcia is Reality Von Tease. And I wrote, imagine the Kinko's employee that had to print this out for her. I do want to tell you, Monica looked at my stories yesterday and she liked this story. She wrote LOLOL. So Monica is leaning in. She could have leaned in more. I think she should have had merch ready, saying like, we are all Reality Von Tease. I'm sure that will be coming. But what I think right now to keep an eye on in this next week before the reunion part 1 is the Tanisha of it all. What else is going to shake up? Because it seems like Tanisha has a treasure trove of things to talk about. Okay. Also, other opinions. One of my friends online wrote this. Somebody had wrote the Twitter account Kenya Moore Stan wrote, Heather was so far up Jen Shah's butthole even after the conviction, but she was super angry with Monica. I bet Heather would film with Jen the moment she is out. Heather is a flop to me. No bitch is going to punch me in the eye and live to tell about it from prison. LOL. So obviously, like we said, I don't think Heather is a flop. Obviously not. So many people love Heather. I don't think she is the ultimate detective that everybody thinks she is. But I don't think she's a flop at all. But then my friend Aaron wrote, this is why I will never be a Heather fan again. And I don't care what she uncovers about other people. She lost all of my respect when she covered for that ghoul. At the end of the day, that's going to be a hard thing for Heather to ever shake. And that's why I thought she was kind of using the Monica thing to distract and deflect in a sense, because that is the part at the end of the day. You know, these ladies wake up at night in fear of Reality Von Tease. I wake up in fear of night wondering what the hell is with that Jen Shah relationship. And I hope we get some clarity on it. I hope we get some actual truth. Now, Heather, listen, obviously, you know, if Jen Shah is throwing you under the bus and saying you're lying, all bets are off, man. You can tell the actual full truth now. Tell the actual truth. Oh, man, but I read more and more of this stuff. Oh, okay. Somebody DM'd me this, and I thought this was interesting, just some other people's reactions. I've been thinking about how the dots connect. Here's what I think. It traces back to Jen Shah. Jen Shah and Monica have a connection. Monica was JS's assistant, Jen Shah's assistant. Heather was ride or die for Jen Shah. Didn't Meredith become a ride or die for Jen Shah at the end of last season? Seems like I remember Meredith and Heather going to the New York trial to support Jen Shah. Meredith received DMs about Lisa Barlow's business. Meredith received DMs about Angie Katzenavas' business. Jen, Sean, Monica are behind the fake Salt Lake City blog. Heather knows that's how it will be brought out. Meredith knows that's why the lack of being blamed reaction. All four have devised an incredible storyline. Now that takes it even deeper than saying all four of these people are in on it. Man, there is so much to uncover, but if there is this much to uncover, I think we might need Monica back next season to really uncover it all, to see how deep this goes. This is our Watergate, folks. This is our Watergate. This is it, man. Is there been collusion? We need to know. Did you guys have fun today? Was it too much? I don't know. Anyways, thank you as always for being here. Man, I got to do a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. I haven't even watched tonight's episode. I've been in Salt Lake City land, but isn't it great to have good television that we celebrate? Isn't this what it's all about when something comes together? We've had 18 plus years of these shows. And, a good season is never promised. So hats off to everybody that worked on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. These poor ladies will never be able to trust anyone again, including themselves. And thank you for being here. This is So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. Please, if you like the podcast, leave it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you like it further, patreon.com/So Bad It's Good. Hey, baddies. I'll be releasing a Patreon episode tomorrow. And have a great rest of your week. And we got the reunion next week. Oh, boy. Bye, guys.